the like. It's not too late. Hit the like, hit the subscribe right now, but you should be, and if YouTube doesn't do it, make sure you go find it. We're rolling over into the midday show. So it's a midday madness with Sharif and Joe. They're getting ready. They're locked. They're loaded. Let's throw it over to the guys. Ciao for now.
See ya.
I like how we have music now.
I don't hear it.
Boom! Greetings and salutations, beautiful people. Welcome to the midday show. That's your boy Joey Options, and I'm Sharif. And do we have any early birds today in the chat? All right, let's find out here, Joey Options. I'm not supposed to lean forward, otherwise the production team gets very upset. Jody Mills, get it, Jody. We got Buffalo Soldier, Billy Bezos, and Sarush. Who else? Luke Parrott and Ben Joseph. Yalla Studio, Yalla Habibi. Video News. We got Bovin, Life's Interpretation, and Paul Bratic. D Scurf. We got Andrew Chow. Who else, man? Shadow. We got Hakuna Matadash, 215 Sugar Free, and Hytham Yassin. Rob Jenkins and Dude V. Shout out to Dexter Smith and Pete Rock. Lions Talk Live and PMAC. Shout out to Jason Koingi and David Gonzalez. My PD Rider. We got Chetan47 and Thomas Johnson. Why not? Dexter Smith, Ahmed, Max Power, High Vibrations, Darth Trader, Crypto, Frickin' FOMO, and Chris Pondit, Jaguar Nut. We got Vito, Consola. I don't know why I had to do it like, all mafioso style, but, High Vibrations. One more, Joey. Thomas Dang Johnson. Good morning to everybody. Happy Tuesday to you on this day. I hope everybody's having a profitable morning. There are some small cap gappers. We'll get to those in a second. First, let's say good morning to the DOG, Joey Options.
Yes, sir. Good morning, everyone. What's it? Broke Hiker. Are you guys a gift?
Hiker.
After Hood this week, last week, up $2,600. Best I've done on options. Bang, bang, bang. Nice work there, my friend. All right, guys, let's get right into it and see what we got going on with Bitcoin. Boom, it did break out. Did we participate that? Nah, not necessarily, but we got a nice little move up there. This was a big mistake on my behalf. I took my eyes off the screen, and I was supposed to get out here. And then boom, I'm like, oh, wow, okay, that's some aggressive selling. We better get out immediately. So we take a little bit bigger of a loss than what was warranted. But hey, that's all right. We'll continuously look at this. Nice breakout consolidation off of the lows. We attempt one more shot right here. Bang, we take half of it off. And then we take another stop out, break even. So as for that, just sitting on the ye old hands to see if we can get anything rocking and rolling. It has been an inside day on Bitcoin. You can see that around 64.52. We're stuck within that range here as we're currently trading at that specific price, but not quite engulfing yesterday's session. As I mentioned, inside day, essentially what it is. 63.50 is the low, and then 65 is the high of yesterday's session, and we're still trading within that. All right, very, very informative. Adara, what do you got for us?
I have a couple different stories with Amazon. As I mentioned, they've been announcing a slew of things throughout the day. AMZN here unveiling some new devices and features. I mentioned some of them earlier involving Alexa and their, Amazon TV stick. But they're also announcing new custom chips, AZ3 and AZ3 Pro, that are going to be powering their new Echo devices. Now, separately, we mentioned earlier DraftKings to the downside. Now we're hearing that apparently Amazon Prime Video is teaming up with FanDuel for real-time betting during NBA games. Unclear if this is a report or confirmed, but either way, more potential downside there. I guess a negative headwind for DKNG. Back to you.
And we took one more attempt here on the Nasdaq. As soon as we get involved, right? We go full share size, but then as soon as it started to climb towards that high, I'm like, yeah, the consolidation maybe was lengthy enough for it to continue its trajectory to the northeast here. So we don't want to be standing in front of that, especially with the likes of NVDA trading up to $186, topping into 187. So that's an all-time high right there. You don't want to be standing in front of that freight train because you will be having a really, really bad time. So that's what I got going on for trades. Bitcoin 1 for 2, and then we go 0 for 1 there on the TQs, waiting for something to pounce. Ooh, but then we got a $10 super chat. Sharif, my guy.
Oh.
Great discussion on DPRO. Yeah. It started it would hit $8, it touched $9, and I sold for a great profit. Thanks again, Joe. DKNG is crushed. Oh my God. Yeah, well, I mean,
I'm not clapping about the DKNG, obviously.
DKNG.
But again, like we talked about, brother, I mean, Joey, tell him what you think about this, obviously, because he's asking about Donkey Kong. I'll get to DPRO because I've already got it loaded up here by default, Joey. So we'll look at that one first, if that's all right, and then we'll get to the Donkey Kong trade again. Thank you, Corey, for the $10 super chat. Let's start with DPRO. I've already got it up on a trading screen. That's no surprise. Look, it's not up big, 27.5 currently. Here's what I see, Corey, and everybody else who's interested in this name. It has a very unique characteristic. Assassino. When you look at the DPR trade, Assassino, what do you see characteristic to this name?
What do you see?
Let's see.
What do you see, Assassino?
I love calling him out. What I see, Joey, is a whole bunch of topping freaking tail candles. Do you not?
Tell him.
Right? What does that mean to me, Joey?
Ooh.
Every time it makes a new high, it is looking to retrace. It has that as a characteristic of how it trades. You make a new high, down we go. You want to make another new high, Joey?
Well,
then you're going to go down.
Oh,
okay.
I thought we were going up.
And you make another new high at the open, you come down. So as soon as this took 9, I was already on alert. Obviously, $9, psychological resistance, this, that, and the other. I was interested to get in, but then, you know, I caught myself and I'm like, look, this is likely to retrace. How far, how deep, I don't know. I don't need to know that. I just need to wait until it turns and wait for that first 5-minute candle that turns green and makes a new high above the predecessor red candle. So my bias right now, Corey, is this that it comes back down maybe to 8.5. Maybe if it gets really down there, 8.30. Now it could take 9. It looks like it wants to take 9 again. It's got some higher lows. So who knows? Maybe it changes its tune. It's breaking out into 9.09. It's a 9.18 high. The prior candle high is 9.13. There goes 9.13. It's got a new candle to make a new high. It's 9.16. We're 2 pennies off the day high right now on DPRO. So yeah. Look, clearly, I didn't have the right read on this. Otherwise, I'd be punching in and taking some new area highs. Let's continue to watch over here. See if the tape is stepping in. Oh, the tape is stepping in plenty, Joey. Seller at 23 right now on DPRO. Continuing to watch. Make us rich again, says Ozan. All right, give me a few minutes, brother. Let's see if we can get something going on this trade over here. I've just got a bias, though, guys, that this is going to turn because it hasn't been that steady state, higher high, higher low. If that's my bias, I'm going to stick to that bias. I'm not going to get in if I don't feel comfortable. So I'm going to wait till a pullback. Now, obviously, it's made a new high, 925. The prior high was 918. And it doesn't seem to be wanting to pull back in. So I might have gotten this one wrong. And it does have a good level of support here at a prior area of resistance. This is why I've started employing the 1-minute chart on the top screen or the top chart, and then the 5-minute on the lower one for areas exactly like this. Like, look at this. It uses 880 as an obvious area of resistance. Once it clears it, it comes back in and uses 880 as support. And it did it over here as well. 860 resistance goes up to 880. Starts using 860. Okay, so this one looks like it might be changing its tune a little bit with that stair-step effect. Now, if that is the case, then if we move up maybe 930, 940, whatever, then should I be looking for 9 as support? I think I will. So if it's going to pull up a little bit more and then come back into 9, your boy's going to be buying in at 9. So we'll see how that one goes. But I'm involved in NUVB. This is a very small position, and I'm going to hold, I'm going to have a really tight stop. Anything below 70 ends the trade for me because, yeah, it's clearing VWAP with a kind of a couple of candles to make higher highs. But when you look at it a little bit more thoroughly, it looks like it's going to be another lower high relative to this area high over here. So 395, and then it's starting to use 380 as what I perceive to be possibly another lower high. We've got others going on over here on the side chart. BQ is in focus. Certainly, I know Yannick was asking me about that in the chat. Shout out to the OG Yannick. BQ, bottom left of your screen. Another B name, BKKT. That's a holdover from yesterday. It's more expensive, obviously, 30 bucks or thereabouts. It's holding generally trend of higher lows and higher highs off that 10 EMA. I'm a buyer likely at 29.50. Oh my God. DPRO is really going over here. It's a new high day, 933. It's going without me, Joey. So we're going to have to figure out how to execute on this. Otherwise, I'm going to have to wait for 9.
All right, then. Yeah, let's take a look at DraftKings and see what we got going on there. Oh, let's unlock that. You can do it. Yay. All right, DraftKings. Let's see what we got cooking up. Yeah, it's getting lit up today. We're not going to beat around that bush whatsoever. But again, I think with a name like this, you just want to buy a little bit more. I always say don't go all in at once, right? Especially if you're swing trading, long-term investing. You want to slowly start to allocate size. And if it starts to sell, you get to buy it at a significantly better price. I know you were long somewhere around 43, I believe, in change there. So, yeah, it's an extremely tough look, but I wouldn't be surprised if this name bounces eventually. You're going to probably see some more continued selling if you don't see buyers step in. But one thing to note is that you're punching through some key support levels. You're going to head into that next level. You can see you're getting a little bounce off of that. But anything south of this, you get into the lower mid-30s, then I think you'll be okay. You want to grab a little bit more. So that's just my opinion. I don't know, obviously, what your account's looking like or anything along those lines, but that's something that I would most definitely be looking to do, especially if you're long and you have longer dated contracts or you're just in shares. But shares, you're fine. You don't have any time to worry about and you're good. You just buy a little bit more, forget about it, set and forget, and then come back in a couple of months to see what's going on after the NFL season, after they report earnings. We're going to be rolling into the banks shortly. So, I mean, hey, time will tell. But yeah, as for that, guys, I'm keeping my eye on this overall market as Bitcoin failed its breakout. I didn't take another attempt on the Qs here just because NVDA put in a new high, 187.15. So let's take a look at that options chain to see what we got cooking up over there, because that is very, very interesante.
Very nice.
Yeah, exactly. Very nice. I love USNA. So there it is, 185. Guys, 185. Guess how many contracts?
How many?
286,000.
Crazy.
On the volume, 286,000. Yes, you guessed it right. 80,900 on the open interest column, guys. So someone's rocking and rolling. They're closing those contracts, whether they be short, which it sounds like they are, because why would you close them from the 185? You're a couple points in the money, but if it's rocking and rolling, you let it ride, baby. But other than that, my friend, that's what we got cooking up. Let's see how IBIT reacts around the volume-weighted average price. If we get that indecision print, then guess what? We're going long. You got it right.
I absolutely love it. All right, super chat. Broke something or another. Thank you for the $20 super chat. BBAI, I'm in at 476 with 113 shares. Sold everything at 8 except my lucky 113. Please advise. I've been with y'all for 2 years, so first time I'm asking. All of you guys rock. But Adara is on another level of amazing. You got some fans there in the chat. Adara. All right, let's have a look at. Pardon me?
Said thank you to the person.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, broke something. Broke Hiker, Adara is the name. Let's have a look at BBAI.
Muchas gracias, mi amigo.
Just having to monitor my positions. Let's look at Big Bear. Where we got over here. Big Bear, so you're in at 476. Please advise. Well, we're certainly holding on to this level of support here at around 6.5. This was obviously a level at around, mid-July, as well as, again, late July. We are holding that level. We're very much in a range generally here with some outlying areas, obviously. I don't know how you see this, Joe. I see 8.5 resistance. I see generally 6.5 support over here with obvious support at the 200 where it found support right here on the 10th of September. I like the higher lows. I personally area low, higher low, and if we hold up here, another higher low. So I personally like it. I don't know how Joey feels about it.
So we're going to go off to Adara there momentarily. We'll talk about BBAI when I get back.
Keep an eye on Ford and maybe some of these U.S. EVs in general. CEO of Ford, Jim Farley, apparently saying that he predicts the U.S. electric vehicle market share is going to drop from roughly 10% down to 5%. So he's predicting a decrease in the U.S. EV market share, as we discussed yesterday. These tax credits for EVs are ending very shortly. Now, I also want to let you guys know Nike earnings tonight. You can check that out with Sean and myself. That'll be at 4 p.m. Eastern. Nike releases their report at 4:15 p.m. We've got a whole slew of infographics on NKE for you on TTV Research, but we just posted this updated version of their Nike quarterly revenue in Greater China. I just added Q4 of last year to that because they're about to report Q1 26. So again, you can check this out on X at TTV Research to prepare yourself for that report. Let's see if Nike runs a little bit higher. Back to the Bash Brothers.
Excuse me, yes. As for BBAI, I like it from an intraday standpoint, to be honest with you. Just the way it's curling up, volume stair stepping up as well, too, guys, as you can see it on the 5-minute intervals here. A little stair step. I mean, it's nothing insane from a relative standpoint, but the price action, I really like it, moving against the market currently right now. So, yeah, watch out for the continuation in this name. Sharif went over the daily. Yeah, it's not looking too bad. This is a big-time move off of these lows all the way up to $8.50. You reject slightly aggressively, and then now you're starting to get a little bit of a bounce. But intraday, I like BBAI. It's looking pretty good, so hopefully that move can be sustained for you. Now, as for UiPath, way to go there, OB. I can't believe that Robinhood tapped into 142.5 there throughout the day. That's insane. Really good look. There goes the Nasdaq to the downside. We didn't take another stab on that one just because of what NVDA is up to. It might be slightly toppy right now, but that's okay. But boom, Robinhood starting to form this. I don't know what you're going to call this because we have this downtrend here, right? But we had these strong opening drives, and now we're forming this consolidation. Which direction is it going to want to head? Now, let's take a look at the daily to see how we're printing up here. Ooh, any more selling pressure? Watch out. I got out some around 122, half to be exact. Sat on some cash and I rotated into something else. So yeah, that's what we got going on. There goes the Nas. Ooh, we're heading to our target. I'm curious to see if we can get the volume weighted average price. That's going to be a prime time level right there. We're going to look for any forms of indecision and then a possible continuation. Now I'm just waiting for my scan to pop up. We'll run through some of these names and see what we got going. 107 million shares traded on the day. Pfizer in second place. Who would have guessed that one? Boom, there it is. Bounce off of, you get slightly below view up, boom, and you bounce right back to the top. UiPath, OB grabbing that nice short couple, $1.50 plus in the money right there for our boy. And then as for CoreWeave, bang, you get that move to the top side. So those are some of the names that the boys were trading earlier on the day. Rigetti forming a bull flag pennant. And then Silver had some options activity yesterday as well, too. Didn't do too much, but starting to sell extremely aggressively right now. So keep an eye out on Silver. Ooh, as for Amazon as well, too, guys, starting to get smoked, but recovering, now trading around the volume-weighted average price there, Sharif.
All right, Joey, we're doing it live over here on BQ. We're long 1073. We just wet the beak there at 1145. It's very spready. It's 45 on the bid, 13 on the ask. It's hard to manage. So we were actually crossing my my profit taker, I think by almost 20 pennies at the high, and it still wasn't printing. But that's the bad news. The good news is it's quite respectful of trend. If you were able to deal with the wicks. So this wick is real. It's on my black charts and my white charts down into 1020. I had my stop right below that level for exactly that reason, though. It wasn't that I was trying to degen. I was alive to the fact that it was super spready and that, you know, a wick like this could possibly stop me out. So I gave it an unusually large amount of room for it to kind of do its thing. So we'll keep tabs on that. 1145 best out so far. Looking for the next one in the 60s. You guys know what the deal with that one is. The other trade that I'm involved in right now. So I made a mistake over here on DPRO. We're long 84s. I actually got out here by accident, so I had to punch back in. This is the 10 EMA. As we've spoken about, but I'm getting in small share size on every successive little dip. I have a bias that DPRO is going to continue to put in generally higher highs and higher lows. I just don't know how low it's going to go. It's retraced, as I've mentioned, after big moves before, so I don't want to be getting in too much too quickly at any one level and then get into some trouble. So let's go ahead and post some profit takers at some decent levels over here. If we get a price spike up around that 9 area, I want to be able to participate and maybe a little bit above. We're way at 905. Shout out to the 905. Anybody from Toronto knows exactly what we're talking about there. So that's the look right now on that. Let's go back to BQ because it's coming all the way back down. We're long 73s. Now it's showing me 1114s, but the spread is opening up even wider. 1084 on the bid, 1114 on the ask. So the spread still doing its thing. Let's keep tabs on that. I flattened out, by the way, my NUVB trade because this is not the look for me here. It's putting in lower highs and looking to flat bottom break. So that's not my move. We're going to have to put my phone on silent again today, bro.
Ooh.
I'm getting a ridiculous amount of spam calls. Yeah. And I'm trying to block all of them, and it's just like a futile game.
Yeah, don't give
because they just call from other numbers.
Yeah, they just call from another number.
Right.
Don't give your social insurance number out.
Social insurance?
Yeah. Don't give that out there. Remember the story I told you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I had
Oh,
my
my
buddy.
God.
Yeah, twice.
Yeah, no, that's nuts. I thought you were mocking me there for a second. I'm like, no, why would I give up my social insurance number? But then I remember.
No. My buddy did that there.
Exactly.
You got anything else there?
No, go ahead, Joey. Yeah.
Let's rock and roll here. Okay, first of all, we're going to start with this. Jody Mills. Happy birthday. We don't know what number, but I'm going to just throw one out there randomly. Happy 22nd birthday. Oh. And I hope you have a fantastic one. It is only Tuesday, so don't party too hard, all right? Because you got to be back here bright and early in the morning, 8:30 sharp. So congratulations on that. Is it a congratulatory thing? I'm not too sure. But anyways, enough of that. But Robinhood, what are you up to? Break through the volume weighted average price. We're starting to slowly cook up on this one. Let's see if we can get this breakup. We are forming some lower highs, so we want to keep an eye out for that. But if we have the ability to snap this 140, then we're off to the races. 50 cents almost ITM on this. We're going to be momentarily, especially if we continue on this path. Nasdaq starting to get a little bounce north of the volume weighted average price. We like this. Any buying pressure, it's stepping right into Robinhood, and bang, there it goes. A quick 50 cents, we'll take it. Bang, 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 as we're north of VWAP. And then you get another big time pop. Who does this stock think it is? I have no idea. I was listening to the All In podcast with Mr. Vlad Tenev himself. I liked everything he had to say, especially with private equity. So yeah, let's see what we can get a fill. It's slightly it's rejecting this level aggressively. So maybe we might have to just hit out on a limit and boom, take that profit and run as the market is starting to kind of come back in right now as well, Sharif.
All right, guys, I see now. BKKT, I don't know, somebody like some cartoon character running. BKKT, guys, it is a big one today. Let's go. Let's load up, please, BKKT. No? Okay, there we go. 3151 area high, very strong, but let's take a gander over here at the spread right from the get-go. It's a 21 penny spread, 22, 46 on the bid, or ask, 24 on the bid. But it's put in a hell of a respectful trend using the 10 EMA on the 5 as its support level. So let's have take a gander over here. BKKT, that's top right of your screen, 3151 area high. Is there an area of support that we can pick this up? I'm liking the $30 level just for psychological support, as well as currently it's a 10 EMA. There's no telling where the 10 EMA will be if and when this turns down off the lower lows, or sorry, the higher high, higher low trend. So I'll keep my eye on that one. It's a bit more expensive of a name, obviously, 31 bucks. So you'll have to size in accordingly to take your risk management into parameters into mind there. So we'll keep tabs on that. What do you think of Costco, says Cyberkill? I'm going to answer that question for you because I happen to like it. It's obviously one of the long-term ones, but we're going to have to go to Adara for a second.
Yeah, we'll talk here about PFE. This one's moving up again. Donald Trump apparently making comments. I'm guessing this is likely just in transit between that announcement for the Army, or I guess it's just speech for the Army, and then his next announcement, which is scheduled. Initially, it was scheduled at 11 a.m., now scheduled for 12 p.m. Now, apparently, he's saying that they'll be reducing prices by 100% and in some cases more. People have attributed that to drug prices. Sounds like he's talking about drug prices. So again, keep an eye on PFE. There are reports that Trump's set to announce a deal with Pfizer involving Pfizer investing $70 billion into the U.S. for manufacturing pharmaceuticals. And then also they're going to be having their deal with regards to lower pricing. So again, Trump touting a 100% or more price reduction here for drugs. Back to you.
Very interesting. I mean, I personally wouldn't mind seeing that. I think the Americans deserve to get some better drug prices because, well, they pay a lot. And just ask myself, because we have quite a few Americans Always. Yeah, coming up for drug price. Yeah, well, you know what the drill is, Joey,
Yeah, you know the spiel.
That's the situation. So I don't like IXHL, Maracas, at all. It's dropping. It's negative on the day, down 5 2/3. It's also below VWAP, and it's personally not for me. I don't know anything other than just the current price action on the chart. I do happen to like FATE, F-A-T-E though. What's his name? Bovin, not bad. I'm not really a fan of ASST though, but FATE doesn't look bad on the day. Let's have a look at the 5. There's no catalyst though on this Bovin, and I don't want to say it's lightly traded, but it's not definitely a big volume day for it. About 6 million shares trading so far. Thanks for Assassino for that. Let's go back to Costco, COST, for the super chat. Again, I want to thank Cyberkill for Costco. Costco's looking awfully good today into the area high. Let me just see where my friend Costco's at over here. COST, because it doesn't update the chart. Shout out to IB. Your charts are fantastic, brothers. But on the daily, I think that's probably what you want to see. Yeah, a bit of a pullback, obviously. I don't necessarily like the fact that we're below the 200 because typically we defend the 200 pretty aggressively. You can see in the outlying areas here during the tariff tantrum, we dropped below the 200 very briefly and quickly reclaimed it. We've been doing that a lot more now. In fact, I am also concerned about this lower high pattern, okay? Area high, another lower high, another lower high. You get it, another lower high. 900 seems to be a great area to buy it. From the tariff tantrum times, you go all the way back as well into January of this year. 900 was a very important area of support in the same way that it was a little bit of an area of resistance. Look at all these areas over here back in August and September of last year. We were basically rejecting 900 by a little bit, right? And we go up above it and then drop below it. So I like 900 as a buy area. And you have a double bottom here on the daily into 900, both of which were bought up aggressively. And then today, you're making a new area high. So we're certainly not making any higher highs on the daily, but that 900 is an important area I perceive. That's the good news. The bad news is we're making lower highs consecutively since the February area highs, and I don't like the fact that we've been dilly-dallying with the 200, a little bit above it, a little bit below it, so a mixed kind of picture for me anyway when it comes to this one. Let me know how it goes, brother. I hope you print up multiple storms on whatever trade you take.
All right, hopefully I'm wrong there, Gorev. Yeah, I don't love the long anymore. You can see we take a little piece out, boom, it comes back to our break even, we get out, and it trades all the way down to 139 flats, and then you're getting a little bit of a bounce off of that specific support level. Now I'm looking at some other names, obviously IBIT's on my radar, what the Nasdaq is up to, BBAI, and we'll go through a couple more. Actually, never mind, we're not gonna do that right now. I'll tell you one thing that we are gonna do. We're going to take a look at the top performing sectors of the day and see what we got going on. The healthcare, who do they think they are, thinking they can lead today's race? No, obviously being sarcastic. There it goes, up 0.7. Consumer staples, second place. Up a fifth approximately. And then technology sector, so hard. I almost want to say technology every time. But there it is. We're up about a fifth. And then also the bottom three, guys, we got consumer discretionary down 1%, financials down 1 1/10. And then we have the energy sector down 1.6%. Yeah, I mean, one thing to note here, Gorev, this is positive, right? So you can see that some of the market has cracked through support levels. But let's take a look at this, right? Boom. Consistent higher lows. And that's exactly what we want to be looking out for. If you feel comfortable buying that support level, it's simplistic. You get out at the break of the trend, and then you wait, be patient, and wait for some more indecision prints. But we got another $10 super chat. Spam calls, iPhone, go settings, app, phone, and selected silence on notes. He knows. Best setting I've ever seen. If you don't have the iPhone, just do better.
Oh, no.
Damn. Oh, F-Bombs is his name. Thank you for the $10. Adair, what do you got for us?
Bro, look at this.
We're going to talk about crypto here. We'll do our crypto segment. This is an individual by the name of Hester Pierce. She's on the SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, and she actually also is one of the leaders of their crypto task force. Now, why do I show her photo? Because there are some reports coming through here that the SEC is developing a plan to allow stocks to trade on the blockchain technology similar to cryptocurrencies. This is reported by The Information. So again, the SEC considering, just as we have cryptocurrencies trading on the blockchain, they want stocks to trade on the blockchain as well. This initiative is apparently a key part of the crypto-friendly regulatory side of the Trump administration's plans. It would actually allow investors to purchase tokens on crypto exchanges, and they will be representing companies like Tesla, Nvidia, etc. We know Robinhood did announce tokenized stocks earlier this year, even for private companies as well, like OpenAI, which did lead to some pushback from OpenAI. So this concept is not new, but it does apparently face some resistance from TradFi, or traditional finance firms here, because they have established profitable operations within the market structure. They're maybe not ready for the smoke or ready for this new development. We're going to have to wait and see what happens here. But either way, keep an eye on this story because it is a pretty interesting one. Here's Ethereum. ETH. It's making slightly lower highs here on the daily chart, but right now supported that 3,800 area is key. Let's see if we can hold it. We'll take a look here at BTC as well. BTC looking kind of similar to ETH. And BTC, again, kind of having a situation with lower highs and higher lows in the daily. Let's see how this wedge-like formation sorts out. Again, it's worth noting both are within the bounds of all-time highs. Back to the Bash Brothers.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to have to figure somebody to help me out here.
Do what you got to do there, my friend.
Fantastic stuff.
Oh, Gorev, that's why you don't listen to me, brother. You got to make you take the trade. Hopefully you did. No, it bounced off of those support levels really well. 139, bang, like a trampoline bounces off it, and now climbing right back to the top end of the session. It sounds like a car when your belt is something wrong with your belt, and you hear that car driving down the road until it starts to warm up. For all those who are familiar with that specific sound, ask me how I know. I used to drive a 98 Hyundai Elantra way back in high school, a hatchback. Love that thing.
Sick.
Put in a boom box in it as well, too. What's up? So your boy was coming through with the old hatchy there. Yeah, we had a lot of fun with that car. Whatever happened? Did I destroy it or did I just get rid of it? That's a great question. I got to jog my memory on what that was. Fun story. We'll get right back into this TQ's trade right here, starting to work hammer candle right at the volume weighted average price. But back to my Hyundai Elantra for a moment. First day ever having my G2 driving to high school. Your boy rocks the curb and just destroys pretty much everything on the undercarriage of it there. So yeah, I get a little excited, Nancy. But TQQs, boom, there it is. 102.22. We're going into that level. If we can come back into this neckline, we're going to start piecing some out. Maybe even 102.30s. We'll take a little bit off the table there. Love that print. It's a choppy morning without any question. You can see the first hour and a half of the session. Sideways price action, you get that breakout, you come right back into the middle of the range, and then now we're trying to find a specific direction. So patience, and then we get up to 102.30, we're going to take some off. If we get there, we're right at VWAP. We like it. Be patient. Wait for the opportunities.
I like that. I like that. Where the money at? Da-na-na-na-na-na. All right, you know what? BQ's been good to me today, man. Even though Assassino, I don't like typically these ones with a very wide spread. And I'm sure you've heard me say that many times, Assassino, but this one is good to me today, okay? So 1180 high on my friend BQ. We're long 73. We just wet the beak there at 69. You know what's up. And now we're waiting at 88. So we can't quite hit the dollar club animation quite yet until we get that 88. If we get that 88 print, we're going to pack our patience. But something's afoot with my platform on here because it's not letting me punch out of position or take profit on DPRO. So I don't know what to do. We're flat on it right now. It's showing me 77s. We're in at 77s, but I see resistance at 80. Why do I say that? Well, we saw resistance at 80 here, then we use it as support, then we come back down, use it as support again, drop below it. Is it going to be resistance this time? Here we go, moving back up to 80, but I've seen this story before. This candle's got another, I think, well, it's closed now. How do we trade? We're trading lower. What I'm waiting for here is the first 5-minute candle to make a new high. high, and we haven't gotten that relative to the candle at 1125. The 1130 candle didn't make a new high, and this current 1135 candle doesn't have a new high either. So I don't want to take it out. I can use my flatten keys. It's not letting me punch out using the gateway keys, but I can use my flatten keys. But if it's the right trade, I don't want to get out. And that's kind of the existential issue that I'm having with right now. So it is dropping here, Joey, and yeah, that's the situation. Anyway, we're going to Daryl.
Keep an eye here on WBD, DIS, PSKY, FOXA, any of these TV and media related names. The Federal Commission's the Federal Communications Commission, or the FCC, is reportedly considering whether to end their merger ban across major U.S. broadcast networks. So apparently this merger ban they have could come to an end. FCC considering ending this ban. Back to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, we'll get that sorted out. Tesla breaking through some key support levels right there. There goes Robinhood to the lower end of the support level. All right, so that's what we got our eyes on. You can see this strong engulfing print right here on the 1 minute. So you got that move up into 102.20, and then you sell off aggressively back into 101.80s. So let's see if we can get another little pop to the top side, and that's what we're going to continuously look out for. Let's take a look at the options chain on the Nasdaq itself to see what we got. Don't stop. As you seen, remind me, brother. I gotta sit up straight, my friend. All right, so there it is. Let's take a look at some of the activity that we're experiencing throughout the day. 599. Lots of volume coming through that specific level. Nothing outstanding from an open interest standpoint. You got those 600s still currently open right now. 12,500, 84,800 right there. So not too bad of a look. And I mean, if we look at our deltas here, obviously the higher we go on the strikes, the lower that delta is going to be. And that's kind of what the gamma squeeze is, right? So you have so say we have a high concentration right here up at the 605s. You got a lot of open interest there. And then sure enough, the market starts to rip. And it's like, oh, okay, what's going on? Well, the gamma is going to start to accelerate, right? And then also your delta as well, too. So that's when you're going to get those gamma squeezes, and you're like, oh, wow, this is not going to be a good time. So all those short options traders are like, let me get out of this one and reassess the situation. We'll cut our losses and then obviously just look for another potential trade. So that's what we got going on. Back to our scanner. We can now click on Mara to see what it's up to. Not too much Bitcoin. I mentioned inside day on that specific. On the crypto. I haven't even looked at Ethereum today either. I assume it's going to be a little bit weaker than what Bitcoin's up to. Yep, significantly so. But I like a potential bounce right here, right? We got a hammer candle. The volume isn't isolated, but hopefully this print can hold up. And hopefully the Nasdaq can hold this 101.83 level before it tanks and heads to 101.60, and then that's when we're going to have to get out of that trade. So maybe not too much of a bottom picker day, with the exception of Tesla. The more aggressive the selling is, the more I like it. But you also want to look for key signals, right? We got the stopping volume and we have the hammer prints. Those are two things that we're keeping an eye out on. And then also with the options chain, we had a monster of a short, Gorev and I on NVDA correlating those three, and it's just like punch, 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 and that turned out to be a really good time. So happy with that one. As for our DKNG, the volume's there, but nothing is saying, hey, we're ready to turn price around just yet. So be cautious for some more potential downside within those names. And there goes Robinhood, cracking through the support level. It tried on multiple occasions to punch through some key support, resistance, but it's like, we're not climbing any higher just yet. Maybe we need to absorb some more liquidity before we continue that path higher. But again, it's intraday trading. It may not happen today. It may take some time for it to come to fruition there, Sharif.
Well said, Joey. Well, absolutely well said. I'm just looking at a couple of small cap gappers here that have weaseled their way onto the scene. They're a little bit light on volume, guys. So what I had to do here, just full disclosure, so I can explain what I'm doing, so you can follow along. DPRO, I did not have intentions to get out, but because I was unable to take profits, I had to use my flatten key. Okay. Now I've set up a script order on this one because I'm still interested in it. Right? It was never my intention to execute in the way that I had to. So I'm looking for a reclaiming of 880. And if we claim and hold that 880, I'm getting back in. Now, what I see is a 3-candle higher low setup right now relative to the 1125 that has a higher low sorry, so the 1130 candle has a higher low than the 1125. The 1135 candle has a higher low than the 1130, and the current 1140 candle obviously has a higher low, and here it comes. Now we're triggered back into this one. So let's see if we can take profits now, Joey. Yay!
Oh, yes.
Oh, good boy, computer.
Yay.
All right, so let's see if we can now ride the trend. So we're gonna go ahead and throw some script orders on that. We'll see if we can get some nice executions. Otherwise, this will be a bull trap and we'll be in some trouble. I'm also looking at BKKT, guys, okay? So BKKT put in a nice red candle there after that 32 2/3 area high. And now it pulled back in. It pulled back in momentarily at 31.50. But here we go again, reclaiming 32. And this current candle's got a high of 32 1/3. So I'd like to be able to get in on BKKT somehow, some way. I'm just not really sure how to do it. It's not pulling into the 10 EMA. It's continuing to hold a higher low trend, so I can base my out based on that. We'll continue to watch. Let me, I'll have to mull that over a little bit. All right, DPRO, we're moving back up here, Joey. We just got the first print at 888s. Now it's showing me 91s on DPRO. And we got some shares here, so we're gonna continue to scalp. We're looking for continuation, ideally, into 9 and above 9. Don't forget, it's a 933 area high here on DPRO. Let's see how good we can do on this one, if we can do well at all, and or how high we can get. I want to see a nice clearing of 9, ideally, just to kind of create a bit of a buffer from my entry, obviously, into the price action. So we're showing 91s now. Most of the time it is a 1 penny spread, but I've seen it as wide as 3. We'll see if that spread continues to tighten up as the liquidity comes in. We're about 46 million shares traded right now on the day, a little bit less than 50. So we'll keep tabs on that, Joey Options, and we'll report back. Grunfeld saying BENF. Let's take a quick look at BENF over here. All right, let's take a look.
Take a look.
This is a hell of a daily chart it's got over here on BENF, but let's have a look at that. Yeah, so it looks like it was an aftermarket mover from yesterday coming from penny stock world. It was about a 36 penny close. The aftermarket yesterday took it to about 75. We're still putting in lower highs, brother, from that aftermarket high yesterday, but we are also putting in higher lows. So it's a compression pattern. I would play it as a range until it decidedly breaks out. That means you buy it as a long off the lower end of the trend line and you wet the beak at the upper trend line and you hold a piece for the dream, right? Because you want to see if this can break out. So I see lower highs, but I see higher lows. Aftermarket breakout yesterday at 515. Let me know how it goes, brother. Wishing you very good luck and multiple storms of prints.
All right, good stuff there. Where did I see this one? Oh, I was looking just for you, Assassino. I found a cool, oh, here it is. PBR. This one's just for you. Not Pabst Blue Ribbon for my fellow Americans, but Petróleo Brasileiro right there, Assassino. Not too bad. Well, I mean, it's a horrible look. Yeah, it's a horrible look on the daily and on the intraday. Damn. All right, I was looking for a little bit better of some
Joey.
premium there, but yeah, that's what we got going on. I like Soundhound. Where's Soundhound? Where are you? Show yourself. Show yourself. Where are you? Bang. There it is. 5 minute. Do they say that on there? Or you got something?
No.
Oh, you're just doing it?
Bro.
Yeah. You know what? We won. We won. I finally won a game yesterday, man. Yeah. And it was
net?
Twice.
Woo!
Twice.
This guy's
been
netting
on fire,
every
man.
time.
Yeah, I was on fire last night. Twice. Damn. 2 goals, like 3 primary assists, and the boys take home the W. Finally, man. I was telling the boys, I'm just sick of it. But anyways, Riot. Let's see what we got going. Yeah, dub. QBTS, Mara, Cypher. Yeah, a lot of sideways price action in today's session here, guys. So we're gonna be patient and wait for something to set up. I want Tesla to sell a little bit more aggressively so that we can find a potential bounce here. But we did crack through some support levels. Like look at the volume step in here. That's big time, right? Now it is being matched by some buying pressure, but just keep an eye in case it does want to continue that trajectory to the southeast. But now as for the daily, I mean, boom, you have this breakout from 355, you climb $100 within a span of a couple of sessions, and then now you're just slowly starting to cool off, all right? So wait for this consolidation, consistent higher lows, which is a positive sign for an additional move higher. But I mean, we're still about 8 or 9%, 10% to be exact, off of the all-time high. So discount, maybe, possibly. So not too bad of a look, but let's take a look at what Apple's up to as well here too, guys. You're only a couple percentage points off of that previous all-time high. It's only a matter of time until this name makes a new one, so keep an eye out on that. Now, as for Google, get it, Adara. As for Google, man, this thing's pulling back, but we love it. The deeper the pullback, the more you want to buy on this name. It's unfortunate we did get out of it somewhere around this neck of the woods, and boom, that's just a big mistake. I talk about it all the time. Okay. Cash flow. This thing's essentially an ETF. It's so hard for them to fail. Why? Because they can just pay the fines.
Pay demand.
Pay them and buy their way out of any form of trouble, because that's what money can do these days.
Oh, dang. All right, we're flattening out BQ over here, guys, because it is losing the 10 EMA on the 5. Look, if it sets up again, I'll get back in, but it was good to me. We couldn't quite hit that dollar animation, but that's okay. We'll look to do a little bit better. Guys, alert, alert, alert. BKKT is losing the trend. I was about to punch in on this until I thought better of it. Oh, 10 EMAs coming in. It's time to buy. Oh, my God. And then it just loses the 10 EMA. $31 was a 10 EMA. It's lost it by 50 pennies, 30.50. It's really coming down hard. I want to see if it finds support at two different areas here. First and foremost, 30.25. That's this area price spike at 10 o'clock. Let's look for former area of resistance to act as support. That is if 50 penny goes. Wow, this thing is insane. It just popped off 30.15 to 31.15. And then below 30, that 30.25 area, I'm obviously looking at $30, given that it is psychological support. We'll see how that one ends up doing. BKKT has been one that I wanted to punch in at, but I was looking for a strict hold of trend. What do I mean by that? I mean, it didn't really breach the 10 EMA at all on the way up, and now it is. So I need to be alive to that. And I'll see exactly how I want to get in, but it's not going to be as quick as I like, I guess.
No.
BKKT right there, watching DPRO as it drops below 9 now. Now, this current 5-minute candle does have a higher low, so I don't want to take it out too quickly. And this candle is going to close in still like 2 minutes. I'm looking for a continuation above 9, right? We wet the beak here on the price spike up, but what I'm afraid of here on DPRO is this is an area high, and then this over here will be a lower high, and that's what my concern is, right? Because that's how we see the stair step down. Lower high, lower high, lower high, and then he usually uses VWAP once the shorts are in control. So I'll keep my eye on that. Sir David, look, MTLX, I like turtles. Shout out to my man. We're going to have to pause for a second because Adara's got news, but as soon as we get back, I'm going to look at that one for you. Thank you.
Keep an eye here on oil. I have oil up here, like BOIL, but you can, any kind of oil or gas play here on watch. We do have the OPEC Secretariat announcing via a post on X that they are dismissing these media reports suggesting that countries are planning to increase production. They said they are not planning to increase production. These claims are, quote, wholly accurate and misleading. So oil, we know, was down yesterday on these reports. Now OPEC Secretariat saying those reports are not true. We are not planning, or these countries involved are not planning on increasing production. Back to you.
Thanks for that, Adara. All right, let's have a look at MLTX for Sir David. So what the hell happened with this one? Okay, so I have to look at this because clearly there's a story to be had here that I don't know too much about. So you're going to have to give me a minute here. Oh, boy. So what the hell is this company? Why is it trading like this? Okay, Moonlake Immunotherapeutics. So clearly they had some sort of study that went wrong. I can just tell you that from looking over here at it. I'm just looking for the explanation. So this was the 29th, so I have to go back to yesterday. Downgraded, looking, therapeutics, so there it is, okay. So, Moonlake Immunotherapeutics, oh Jesus, 89, drops, falls, 89.1%. The story produced by the, give me the freaking story, you idiots, what the hell is this? I'm going to have to keep looking.
Want me to take over while you find it?
No, that's fine. I'm going to find it. Why is it down? Here it is.
Determined.
Shares of MoonLake Immunotherapeutics plummeted after the biotech company reported disappointing trial results. Okay, so exactly as we thought. That's what these ones do. You know, that's just the nature of the beast. Look, I can't comment on the fundamentals of biotechs and therapeutics companies because I don't know anything science related. That's going to be Obi. In terms of the price action, this is very scary when you're trading at $61, $62 on the 26th, and then you wake up and you come into work on a Monday on the 29th, and in the morning you're trading at $6. I mean, can you think of something more scary? Well, I'm sure you can, but you know what I mean? Exaggerate for effect.
That's optimal fear.
This is fear, and this is what it is, Joey. I mean, we were trading, we were doing well into 62.5. We drop all the way back down over here, and there are certain levels, sure, going back to September of 2022, when this level did come into play, but I can't really give you an opinion on this because it's going to require understanding of science, what went wrong in the phase 2 trial. From the technicals, they don't look good, brother.
No.
They don't look good at all, and that's just what these ones are. If you have a bad phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, typically phase 3 you're on your way, but phase 1 or phase 2, and it fails or it's not well tolerated by the study group, this is typically what happens.
I put it on the downgrades yesterday.
This one over here?
Yeah.
Okay, so then you know all about this.
So it was getting lit up yesterday.
It's an ugly look, Joey. It's an ugly look.
That's the destroyer of wealth.
I hate to comment like that.
Yeah, no, it sucks, man. It's honestly, and you know what? We're just gonna call it how we see it. When you have things that happen like that, it definitely sways people away from the market because, like, why would you ever want to put your money into a name or a therapeutical stock like that? And then, as Sharif mentioned, it's trading at $60 one day, and then you come back the next day and it's at $6, and you're like, well, I've been putting my hard-earned money into this, and just like that, absolutely gone. Could you look at it as a speculative name? Maybe, possibly. I think so. At this point, it's not a good time, that's for sure. But as for the Nasdaq, we went into that 102.20 level. I didn't take any off, and then we rejected aggressively. There is some prior resistance here, guys. Excuse me, you can see that across the 5-minute time frames within that first hour. So, I mean, maybe we just take the money and run if the market is really toppy. It looked like Google was ready to start rocking and rolling, starting to cool down a little bit. BBAI, we don't want to look at that right now because we want to pull up Microsoft and see what Microsoft has been up to. Boom, there it is, starting to recover. So if this name starts to rally, you head towards that high of the day. Watch the upticks in the overall market. Now let's get a broader look here. Head towards that daily, and there it is. Bang. Let's draw our basic trend lines here once again. We had this there, Sharif. Bang, snaps to the downside.
Get it, Joey.
Guess what? We're gonna do it one more time.
All right.
You have that downtrend. Snaps, bang to the top side. From there, 501 trading at 516. So not too bad of a look. Let's see if Microsoft can continue its move higher and higher. There we go up to 102.22 in the Nas. We're gonna take a little bit off here, folks.
Okay.
Just 20%. Is that a little or is it a lot? A little bit of this, a little bit of that, and there we go. What song is that? That was a good one.
A little bit of Monica.
No, I was thinking a different one.
My bad.
You know which one it is? Yeah, the little bit of this, a little bit of that. Adara, what you got?
But I hear in Pfizer and any other healthcare-related stocks, it looks like this announcement, so I'll just pull up the NASDAQ here. Looks like this announcement does have to do with the healthcare and drug-related pricing as we expected. He's on stage here with Robert F. Kennedy, who is leading the Health and Human Services Department, and some other individuals that were on stage with him when he made the Tylenol-related announcement. So keep an eye here on these healthcare names. If I have updates, I will let you know right away. Back to you.
Apparently I'm singing it wrong. All right, so it's all right,
I was singing the, what's it called? What's that Martin guy. What's the hell is his name, man? Ricky Martin.
Ricky Martin.
Yeah,
Ricky Martin.
God.
Whatever's up with that guy these days.
I don't know. What's he been up to?
Who's
Mambo number 5.
That's it. That's a classic, man.
And like a little, get it, Chilean Nightmare. He's singing. It's not Ricky Martin?
Not Ricky Martin.
Man, who is that?
Who is it?
Who's that, Fabian? It's a one-hit wonder guy? All right.
Oh, man. I wonder what it would be like to be a...
Lou Bega, everyone's saying.
Bega. All right, one-hit wonder.
Bro.
Yeah, all right.
Shows how much I know.
Yeah, we don't know any of that. We just sing the songs, man. We just know the melodies, and we try to sing them. Speaking of melodies, bang, there goes the Nasdaq, another little pop to the top side. We'll take a little bit off. It wasn't at a higher price, but why not lock it in, right? Considering we're rejecting this level umpteen times now, and we don't want to continuously face it in case it decides that it wants to dump aggressively. We've already taken the majority of it off. We only have a couple more outs, 70% to be exact. So hold the rest for a runner. We got a boatload of news today. Adair, what do you got for us?
Yeah, I'm just going to let you guys know here, we're not going to have happening now because I am actively listening to President Donald Trump right now, but he did confirm Pfizer agreeing to offer medications at major discounts, that the U.S. is going to be paying the lowest price and actually the most favored nation's price. If I get more details on pricing, I'll let you know. We also heard in these reports that Albert Bourla, the CEO of Pfizer, was set to make an announcement of his own. If he is there and makes that announcement, I'll keep you guys posted. Back to you.
I'd like to be the most favorite nation. You know, if you refer to me as the most favorite person, most favorite whatever, you know, I wouldn't mind that.
In somebody's eyes, you are.
Not even in my mom's.
Yeah, right.
That's my sister, my boy.
Oh,
that's my sister, my boy. She's the family
saint,
star.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's all right, man.
What is that, Ob? She's a dentist. Yeah.
Yeah, well, hey.
She's a teeth cleaner.
We lie.
I mean, teeth fixer.
Teeth fixer. Well, hey, call her up, man. I got plenty of dental.
You want to go to Orange County?
I would love to go to Orange County,
down to Laguna
Niguel. Do you think she'd hook me up too, or no?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but Obi,
for real.
My boy, they don't make as much money as they do in Canada. Canadian dentists clean up. My cousin, who's a dentist as well, just bought a brand new place in the annex. Guess what? The bank gave him 100% financing. And he's going to build up the office there to dual use, commercial and residential. In the annex, he got 100% financing. Had to put none of his own money.
Damn.
It's infuriating. Exactly. They know.
The annex?
It's right down the road, right by Yorkville. It's like the next one over.
Is it the next one over? Yeah, that's crazy, man. I mean, yeah, these dental practices are just bleeding it. Yeah, my friend, my buddy who has his MBA, he's like, yeah, I know so many guys who just went and bought businesses. They don't even really, they're not starting their own. They're not doing anything. They just go buy one. And some guy bought a veterinary clinic and a dental office. And it's just like, just absolutely breaking and insane amounts of cash. All right, there goes the Qs, right? We get the break-even stop out, and it takes another pop higher. Man, oh man, these breaths are killing me.
What?
The breaths?
Oh. I'm just making sure.
I thought you said, okay, all right.
That typically wouldn't kill me, but
well, there's no way what you thought I said would kill me. But no, these pullbacks is what's getting me here, guys. But you get the
Get him, Mike. Mike heard it too, Joey.
No, I did not. All right, well, if you guys, hey, man, to each their own. If you want to feel like I said that, then go ahead, man. To each their own. But I did not say that. But anyways, aside from that, guys, there goes the Nasdaq. Nice little pop up. You guys all heard it. Yeah, whatever. Obviously joking around here.
Everyone loves it, though,
but that's what we got. I might even get involved in some Robinhood here again, Gaurav, just in case the market wants to take a little bounce. We went 1 for 1 on that one. We go 1 for 2 here on the Nas on these scalps. We go 1 for 2 on the IBIT as well. I'm not even looking at it. Hopefully it breaks up. Head and shoulders. Sharif.
What happened?
5-minute head and shoulders.
Oh no.
You see it?
I don't. I see a double top.
You don't see shoulder 1, head shoulder 2?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
But what about that? Would we not look at that part over there?
Yeah, we're going to look at the double top. So we got a bunch of bearish signals on over in this neck of the woods. I do want to buy another contract or so, but it's not looking too good. But maybe when there's blood in the streets, you grab a little bit more. Sharif, what do you got?
BKKT, Joey. We asked Poetic about wanting to get involved here. We're nicely involved. We've got 98s on. It's showing me 45, man. Give me the print, man. All right, I don't want to take out too much too quick here because I think we can get a nice price spike through the $0.50. You never really know, so sometimes you want to wet the beak, but I think I'm going to exercise patience over here to try to get the right trade. Now, we've got a nice double bottom at 30.50, followed by a doji candle, aka a candle of indecision, and now we have a 5-minute candle, a green 5-minute candle making a new high. And just like that, given the spread, it drops back down to red. We were making a new high into 30.57, and now this current new 5-minute candle losing 31, so we're somewhere break even at the moment. 17's on the bid, 82 on the ask. Anything below 30.50 ends the trade. As I've mentioned, that's the only reason I'm in the trade for the double bottom at 30.50 and a possible move back up. Jeez Louise, the price action on these spready ones is crazy. I also want to bring to your attention a new small cap gapper that I said very little about because it really wasn't setting up in the right way, but now it is, man. Bovin, what do you think about this, brother? ZU or ZURA for all my American friends out there. This one consolidated to no end south of 4. It was using VWAP as resistance, as evidenced by the double top candle at 11.35 and 11.40, both of which rejected VWAP. And then this 11.55 candle is where all hell broke loose, taking $4, taking VWAP at 14.15, and now we're into 4.25. Of course, we are still south of that high of day of 465. So my rules are not breached by getting into this. Why? Because these two prints right here, the double top into 465, those are actual prints during regular market hours, not pre-market highs. So I wouldn't mind getting involved in this, but I wouldn't mind this one dropping back down into VWAP, retesting it as an area of support, and then proving to me that it's going to hold up at that level. I just got stopped out of BKKT, by the way, for the last remaining amount. We did take a couple of profit takers, but that one will be negative for me as a result because we're still holding the majority of the position. So we'll go, we're negative on the day as a result, but not by much. We could probably get back into positiveville. So anyway, ZURA is the one that I'm going to be focusing on now, and we're going to take off that hot garbage BKKT, and we're going to put on ZURA, which is trading on the NQ. Let's see what this one is up to now. 431 high. Is the volume picking up? Yes, sirree, Bob, it is. The volume's picking up, and you don't even need to look at the volume on the day. You can typically tell by how the level 2 and the time and sales are moving. So I want to watch this a little bit, Joey, here. Yeah. I know for a fact that there may be resistance at 440, a random area, given its proximity to the $0.50, but that's where both of these candles at 10.15 and 10.20 both ended up closing and opening below. Right? The wicks are the ones that breach the $0.50 and almost into the 2/3 of a dollar, but it is that 440 level. So let's watch here. Maybe we can get in and then ride this one into 440 with a bias that we will sell off into that level. Maybe we'll take profits at that level, and then if it comes back into VWAP, we'll add. Just thinking out loud here, not exactly sure how to execute on this trade. ZURA is the one I'm talking about, Joe.
All right, cool, good stuff, guys. This is what I wanted to say here. It's a little off topic, but aside from that, I think it's my birthday this weekend, and this is what I want to do. Yuri Prohaska versus Khalil Roundtree, Joe Pfeiffer versus Abus Magomedov, Corey Sandhagen versus Merab Dvalishvili, Magomedov Ankalaev versus Alex.
Hold on. Is it your birthday this weekend?
Sunday.
It's your birthday on Sunday?
Sunday, sir.
So you're the 5th?
The 5th.
Because my old man is the 6th. I always thought you were the 7th because I knew you were one day separated from my old man. I thought it was the 7th, not the 5th.
The 5th.
Hey, there he is, bro.
Trades.
I love it.
Yeah, that's trades. Man, yeah. And honestly, I'm like, hey, Joe, I'm getting all these messages. Hey, Joe, you want to go to the Jays game? Hey, Joe, you want to go to Gusto one-on-one? No. I want to sit on my couch and watch these monstrous fights. I don't want to do anything. And
go out for the fights at least. Go out for the fight.
Brother, there is no place I am happier than in my own household watching the fights. Because I'm like shadow boxing. I'm fighting, you know what I mean? Everything along those lines. Yeah, I'm running. Dude, I told you when I put that bet on when I lost for 13 seconds, I'm like fighting the whole round. I'm like, all right, let's see if I can survive this round. And then boom, my guy gets KO'd 13 seconds. I'm like, no. Yeah,
I could just see you at the bar, bro. Shadow boxing, a dumb drunk guy comes in.
I was like full on going. I'm like throwing knees and everything. It was a good time, and I have a good time by myself. But Robinhood Man, this name looks like it wants to break out. This consolidation is insane. We're also getting a solid one here on IBIT. Head and shoulders, we talked about that. Shree pointed out the double top. Good look on that one as well. But look at Robinhood here, guys. Which direction are we going to go? The support level is holding up relatively well. We have our risk profile defined just in case that it wants to break down. Now, if we start to get into the nitty gritty here, you can see that we're starting to form a little bit of higher lows, all right? So lower highs, so keep that in mind. But then you look at the flip side of that and you're seeing the selling pressure step inside on these 5-minute candles. The buying pressure. Boom, sellers pressure down, buyers buy it right back up. And there's another instance. Boom, you're getting another pop. So I'm going to be patient just in case we curl over on this 5-minute. Then we're going to look to get involved in a potential retest of the high of the day. That is my game plan on Robinhood. It's looking pretty good. 138.50, you know you're wrong 110%. So that's roughly 70 cents from where we're currently trading at.
All right, Joey, guess what?
What time is it?
Looking for a futures trading platform that actually delivers without the hidden costs? Well, with plus 500 futures, you get free live charts, transparent fees, low margins, and an unlimited demo so you can practice until you're ready to actually trade live. Open an account and start trading with as little as $100, guys. With Plus 500's powerful platform, you can access a wide range of futures markets like the S&P 500, the Nasdaq, Bitcoin, gas, Forex, metals, cryptos, and much, much more, all in one place. Plus, enjoy a welcome bonus of up to $200 in commission-free trading. Just scan that QR code on the screen to apply for your account today and join over 30 million users worldwide who have already chosen Plus 500. Shout out to the great float. At plus 500. Yeah, I know I glitched there at Casasino, but not much I can do. Oh, baby, Joey. Oh, baby. We're back involved with my very good friend here, DPRO, and we're doing it live. We got threes on. We're taking out the $quarter, Joey options.
All right.
This one does look like it is destined to take out the area high, which is 933. We just wet the beak there at 27s, which is the candle high. The next print goes above the high of the day. So we're going to wait at 34s. That's by definition. Now, I had a whole bunch of dip trades with a bias, obviously, that this was going to zig and zag in front of 9. Why I got back? Oh, no, Joey, this is really going now. Now it's really taken off the top. There's the print at 34s. Now we're going to set up in front of the $half at 48. So my bias was that this was going to zig and zag in front of 9, a little above, a little bit below, hence why I put my dip trades there. Now, why I got back into the trade. This is going to take out my order already, bro. This is crazy here. 47 showing up. 46 is all right. We're going to have to wait a little bit to get that print. So this was the area low. And then I stopped out because we lost the 10 EMA. But guess what? That stop was wrong because it ended up being yet another higher low. So when I saw that, I'm like, oh, bad word.
Bad word.
And then I watched as this thing took 9. I chased it into 9. It wasn't letting me in because the price action was moving much like you're seeing right now, which is very aggressively to the high side. There it goes, Joey, into 950 now, the high of the day.
Woo.
So DPRO, we exact a little bit of revenge on this one. Revenga. You remember that from Scarface? Remember in the parking lot when they're with all the Cuban migrants that were all being housed sadly under the...
Oh, is that when they're running under the...
Yes,
the
and it's the very beginning of the movie, and he's got to... The only way he can get out of there is to get his green card, but he's got to do a hit. And they didn't mind doing the hit, though, obviously, because the guy that did the hit on was tortured one of the guy's brothers, right?
That scene was crazy. That's one of my favorite scenes. Hold on here now.
Go ahead, Joey.
Robinhood, short ski. What was I thinking the long? No, continuous breakdown. Bang. We flip the bias. We get a little pop down right away, immediately. 138.72. Yeah. I was gonna say something, but I totally forgot. But anyways, regardless, we got one more out here left on the Robinhood. So let's see if we can break and hold this support level downtrend. No, Caleb Gonzalez, I have not. We're going to Adara. What do you got for us?
Get it, Dara.
Yeah, a lot is being said here with regards to Pfizer. Albert Bourla has not yet taken the podium, but he is there. He's standing in the background as everybody else talks, and I'm guessing he's probably going next. We've already heard from Robert F. Kennedy, Secretary of Health and Human Services. Currently, we're hearing from Dr. Mehmet Oz, who's part of the administration as well. Now, the reason I bring this up is because Dr. Oz just said you're going to be hearing from the Trump administration throughout the fall on other, I guess, drug-related partnerships. Apparently, the negotiators have been very busy. They just clinched the Pfizer deal, and now there are, I guess you could expect more deals potentially on the way as well. So this pharmaceutical space could certainly be one worth watching going forward. And back to you.
Thank you thank you very much for that. Darren, boom, there it is, that short on Robinhood. We go long, we get stopped out. Boom, we take a little bit off, bang, 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 and then now we're starting to crack through some key support levels. So we're just going to allow this last little bit to ride to see what we can gain on it. It's been on an absolute monster run, so I'm not surprised to see a little bit of selling. But if there's anything specific that you guys want to go over, put those tickers in the chat. We're going to do so. The first couple that I see, we'll go right through them. But there it is. Oh, my day.
What happened, Joey?
Look at the selling here on Robinhood.
Crazy.
Yeah, we're going to hold this. I'm going to try to hold this for the Dollar Club, Sharif, because we will not be clubbing this weekend. So we got to get into some form of partying here, and that's going to be a move to the downside in the hooded one. All right, Tesla. I know you guys like that one. Mike P. The Rider. All right, Tesla. We've been looking at Tesla quite a bit. I'm going to find something, and someone that is DPRO Sharif's been going over that one. Grizz SMCI seems to be
Riz?
You are Grizz.
Oh, my bad.
Grizz, not Riz.
Oh, okay.
No,
My
not Riz.
mistake.
Did you ever like that show?
I like Rizbot. You know about Rizbot?
Yeah, I know Rizbot. That little thing that goes around. Yeah. It just goes around roasting everybody.
I like it. But he asks you, do you want a compliment or do you want to get roast, right? And so you know.
Did you ever like that show, Big Brother?
I know about it, but I never got into it. I have no.
I have a feeling Adara might like. I could be wrong. I don't want to make any.
Weasel in Adara, are you a fan of the Big Brother show? Have you watched? Do you know about it?
So Joe, I like how he knew this. Yes, so I am. I don't know how you knew that. I think maybe. But no, so I actually am more familiar with Big Brother Canada because I think I've mentioned this before. I had to do a reality TV class in university because, as I mentioned, I major in criminology, but my specialist was kind of general media nonsense.
Right.
And so I had to watch Big Brother Canada for school, and then I had a really dark Big Brother phase. You know, I don't mean dark.
You did a deep dive, didn't you?
I just watched a lot of Big Brother Canada for it was at the start of the pandemic.
That's okay.
But yeah, to answer your question, yes, but specifically Canada.
I'm a good people reader. That's the thing, right? I know.
You and I have talked reality TV shows before too, so
yeah.
It was
so I had a little hunch, right? I had to put some probability in my favor there. No, but in all seriousness, I was honestly not going to give it too good of a compliment. But now that Adara says you like it, I'm going to hold those words back. No, I mean, I don't like the show personally. I think it's low budget, but again, what do I know? I'll stop now, all right? I don't want to come across as a hater. But in all seriousness, there goes, guys, I'm obviously being sarcastic as well, too. Sounds like there's a lot of Big Brother fans in the chat. But there goes Robinhood. We got that move down to 138.40. That short working out really well. Yeah, it's not that good. But so anyways, SMCI, that's what I was about to go over. Sorry to kind of get distracted from that. We're having a good time here as always. Now, as for SMCI, intraday, nice hammer candle off of those lows. Bang, you're heading back in towards the volume-weighted average price. The opening drive was extremely strong. 5-minute orb traders, 5-minute opening range breakout is what I'm referring to. You play the break of the 5-minute candle, and you're off to the races. Now, to look at this name from a daily perspective, oh, wow, we're doing our TA. Hey, I mentioned this before. Someone was talking about it, and I'm like, hey, watch out for the consolidation. Then you have that V-shaped recovery with an additional consolidation. From past history and us going over other names in the likes of Google, Tesla, and some other ones, it tends to be bullish. So is the bottom set here on SMCI? I don't know, but I like the current price action from a daily perspective, Sharif.
Absolutely, Joey. Guys, I have an apology to issue. I just don't know who to make it out to. Somebody asked me to look at MLTX earlier today, and I didn't crap on it. I never crap on any of these names, but yeah, it's looking real good right now. Now, obviously, because of this down move, I mean, I couldn't really have a whole lot good to say when you're trading at $62 on Friday, and then you're trading at $6 on Monday. right? So I'll have to excuse myself. But when you look at this, Joey, this is intraday. Can you see? This is beautiful. This is absolutely good looking right now. So we're going to have to see if we can get anything in here on MLTX. Now, you're going to be like, Sharif, bro, don't you think people are going to be looking to get out now that they've had a bad phase 2 trial? Well, most people are not long from $7. So unless they're okay taking profits if they punched in at 50 and getting out at 7, I don't know if this is really going to encounter a whole lot of short selling or panic selling, let's put it that way, by former longs who are holding the bag. I just think we're way far removed away from that. So let's see how this dilly-dallies with 7. Let's watch a little bit over here, see exactly what we can get. But MLTX is not looking bad. Put some dang respect on this little price action here off 610, and now we're knocking on the door of 710. Keeping an eye on MLTX. Go ahead, Adair.
Yeah, keep an eye here on HIMS, hims and hers, as you guys can see, dropping to new lows of day as we get comments from the director of Medicare, Chris Klomp. That is his real name. He's basically saying that this U.S. drug website, which is being called TrumpRX, as reported earlier, is soon to be launched, and people can find drugs often at most favored nation pricing. Now, apparently, Pfizer is going to have a large selection of their catalog, for lack of better terms, of treatments available at these prices on TrumpRX. Now, they said they're not viewing this as a price cap, but more just a way to give a discount to the American people. If I get more details of this plan, I'll let you know, but it looks like Chris Klomp, as far as I can hear, is the first person to have mentioned TrumpRX directly. It was one of the things that was reported here by the Washington Post. We still have at least one more person from the Trump administration in the health sphere who might say comments, but after that, we can probably expect Albert Bourla. I've been keeping an eye on things. When Albert Bourla begins speaking, that's the CEO of Pfizer. I will certainly let you guys know, and I'll be keeping an eye on that stock. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Adara. So yeah, that's what we got going on, right? It's starting to get a little bit of a pullback. We're gonna hold it. If we get back into 138.50, maybe we just go get out of it. Boom, and there comes the aggressive selling, stepping right in once again on Robinhood. I was like, uh-oh, I know Gaurav is looking at this. Los Pollos and Jag themselves are looking at it, and I'm like, okay, hammer candle through support levels, but no volume supporting that bounce whatsoever. Aggressive selling, meeting it immediately, and then now we're heading right towards that lower end of the range there, my guys. So yeah, that was, excuse me. There's one more thing that I want to talk about on a personal note, but I completely slipped my mind. So once it comes back to me, I'll bring it up. But Sir David of
yeah, that's for me. That's for me. Because he's the one that was talking about MLTX, right? Yeah. And I was like crapping on, like I could trade it at $60. Now it's $6. Yeah, look, Sir David. I want to say his name properly. Sir David of Smooshalot. Yes, my man. Apology accepted, bud. I can't be mad at the peeps that make me love trading more than spaghetti. That's my man right there. And let me tell you, I love spaghetti.
You do?
I mean, I don't eat carbs as aggressively as, that's not spaghetti, but that's some carbohydrates there. Love it. I love it. That's going to be some good. Take it easy, Adara. What's going on? We want to know.
Okay, so Pfizer, as you can see here, Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla just began speaking. The reason I started laughing was because he starts talking, and then Trump kind of cuts him off and says, you have a beautiful office, but it's not as beautiful as the Oval Office. And I'm sorry for the laughter and interruption there.
Well, Joey.
What would it be?
You see that video? Is she here?
Nope.
Did she come? Or is she from home?
From home.
She's from home, eh?
Ram Ram,
nice.
Are you watching? Nice. Are you watching, Ram Ram?
See the video she dropped yesterday about our little banter on the Oval Office?
No.
Yeah, it's good.
Pull it up.
Yeah, pull up. We'll pull it up in a minute.
Speaking of pull up, guess who's coming to Toronto later in October? World boss himself, Vibes Cartel.
Oh, no way. Straight out of jail and ready to world tour.
Ready to world tour.
I love it.
He's been up for about a year now. I used to drive by the penitentiary, the Kingston Penitentiary.
Seriously?
Yeah.
He was in for murder one, too.
Yeah. 13 years, man. Jeez. 13 years, and now he's on tour. So what my boys are doing, what they did is they grabbed a bunch of these Vibes Cartel tickets and with the intention of selling them to get into the Jays game this weekend.
Seriously?
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to go to the Vibes game, but yeah, that does make sense. Yeah.
Right? But I mean, at the end of the day, so shout out to World
Dude,
Boss.
are they selling those tickets?
Yeah,
okay, I might want to buy a pair.
The Vibes cartel ones?
Yeah.
All right, man.
Absolutely.
All right, there you go.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he's coming in September. Yeah, he's back. Adair, what do you got for us?
What I have here, Joe, is exciting news for sophisticated Canadian traders because BetaPro by Global X Canada is or has just launched 6 new triple levered ETFs offering 3 times bull and 3 times bear exposure to the S&P and TSX 60, semiconductors, and U.S. Treasuries. But even better, they're offering a special fee rebate, dropping management fees to just 65 basis points until December 31st, 2025. These ETFs also employ currency hedging to seek to neutralize U.S. dollar exposure and provide performance that might more accurately reflect the underlying U.S. equity indices. So, if you're a tactical, sophisticated trader looking to amplify your performance, check out BetaPro's betapro.ca/3x daily. That's betapro.ca/3x daily to learn more. Back to you.
Adair, thank you very much, as always, letting us know
what's going on.
You're a sophisticated trader and you're in Canada. What? You've got an obligation over here. No, I'm playing. There's no obligation. All right, guys, I'm back into DPRO. I'm seeing some higher lows start to manifest again with that $9 area coming into play. But DPRO is what we all said it is. It makes a new high and immediately comes back down. Case in point, we got in at 902, got out all the way up at 949, and then it dropped right back down to 880. So let's see how this cookie crumbles. Here we go with 9 again. Let's see if we're able to break through 9. I've layered the orders into that one. Now, as much as I do like this ZURA trade, as much as I am alive to the fact of lower highs over here, we're going to pause for a second because Adair's got breaking news.
Sorry to interrupt you guys. Pfizer getting a little bit of a pop here, as you can see in the 15-minute chart. Why? Because Albert Bourla, CEO, just announced that the Trump administration gave them a 3-year grace period from the Trump pharma tariffs. Now, as I mentioned, Albert Bourla and they actually mentioned this during the announcement as well, Albert Bourla met with Trump privately prior, but the other CEOs that reportedly met with Trump included the CEO of Regeneron and David Rick, CEO of Eli Lilly. So keep an eye on any of these companies when you get other tariff announcements as well with regards to potential exemptions. Again, Albert Bourla says that he doesn't want to rely on these exemptions. They want to keep putting the work in with regards to getting factories underway. But either way, he did acknowledge that they did receive a 3-year exemption. That could be significant for some of these pharmaceutical names, guys. Back to you.
Thank you. All right, yeah, we're all out of Robinhood right there. So a nice little short off of that consolidation. And then you can see the strength in some of these buying candles. The pressure stepping right back in. So a really good look. But Derek, Celestine, thank you for the $5 super chat. My friend, you didn't write anything in it. So, as we say, just tag Sharif and I or comment in your own super chat and we'll be sure to go over it. But once again, thank you for the $5 super chat. Much appreciated. There goes the SPY. Off to a new high of the day. Oh. Bang. We like that. What is XLF up to? Ooh, wow. Okay, selling. That's some aggressive selling in the financial ETF here. So XLF not too good of a look, except for it's bouncing off of the lows. So we'll take that into consideration. XLC, that's going to be the columns right here. Bounce being led by the way of Meta and Google, half decent. And then we'll take a look at XLF before we send it over to my guy. Bounce. Well, all of these ETFs aren't doing so well, Sharif. We got the TQs performing significantly better, and we have the SPY performing better as well, too. What is its XLRE? Was that at the top of the list today? And it's still coming off of those lows. That's the real estate ETF right there. And then XLK, we got one more.
Which one, Joey?
Sideways, this is the Technologia one.
Technologia.
Yeah, that's the Technologia one. But anyways, yeah, sideways price action. I think the Qs and the SPY are the way to go. As I just mentioned, SPY, new high of the day, guys.
All right, guys, let me, ready Assassino or no? Not yet? Okay, all right. No problemo. Let's just put that one there so we're ready for that. Yeah, okay, guys. New position, MLTX, we're in at 18. Show me 14s. Obviously, getting in at highs is always a little bit risky, but I'm going to defend into 7. I like that 7 level. 690 is the 10 EMA. We're doing it live as well on DPRO. We're back in 97s. We just wet the beak there at 11s. Next profit taker, 23. So we'll see if we can get that nice price spike back up and continue that higher high, higher low situation on DPRO. But guess what? Trade the pool, baby. Beat Ackman live trading competition is absolutely here. October 8th to 10th, Joey. Every day, Ackman makes his move. What's your mission? To outperform him. Beat his return. Prove you've got what it takes. Then what? The grand finale, October 13th. It's going to be broadcast live, yes, on Trader TV Live exclusive with the Trade the Pool team live in studio, baby. Mitch and company. Over $600,000 in prizes are up for grabs. We're talking about $25K, Joey, $50K, even $100,000 evaluation accounts, plus surprise giveaways, all live during the show. Don't just watch. Compete, baby. Beat Ackman and crew. Win big. Scan that QR code and start trading today. Shout out to Mitch and everyone at Trade the Pool. Joey, what do you got?
Are you going to be competing in that?
Am I going to be competing?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I can compete.
We're not allowed to?
Remember?
Tina Man, are we allowed to or no?
I have no
maybe
idea.
I won't even ask.
We got to ask the Brendo. See what the situation is over there.
Maybe that would be fun, man, if we can compete on that other, on one of them, maybe see what
we can use Ackman's name as much as we want. It's called fair use, okay? We can say his name as much as we want.
Well, who said we can't?
Some pseudo lawyer in the chat.
All right, so yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, anyways, see you later, pseudo lawyer. But there it is, guys. Pro shares, Ultra Qs, nice inverted hammer candle right there. So maybe we'll wait for a pullback. If we can hold half of this candle, we'll look for another short to the downside there potentially. So that's what we got going on. With that specific name. Amazon inverted hammer candle right at VWAP as well too. So keep an eye out on that. Google printing one. So this is the more that I'm seeing across some of these mega names, the more I potentially like it. We can start relatively small, and if it doesn't work out, guess what? We get out.
Okay.
We get out immediately right away. Exactly. And then we don't worry, we don't fuss, we don't cuss, we don't do any of those things whatsoever, except for all upstairs. But yeah. All right, guys. Anything else in particular that you guys want to look at? We're going to be going to Adara here momentarily. We're going there now. Adara, what do you got for us?
Yeah, sorry guys, more pharmaceutical-related news. Just keep an eye on this sector in general. We have the FDA chief in the U.S., Marty McCary. He's saying that drug makers are going to be getting faster review if they equalize their prices. It looks like we have maybe one more individual speaking now from the Trump admin. Once that's done, I'll let you know if there are any questions. Yesterday, uncharacteristically, there weren't any questions yesterday with Trump and Netanyahu, so we're going to have to see if there's questions today. If there are, I'll let you know. Back to you.
Here for that. All right, Joey, we're continuing to watch over here on this MLTX trade. It's defending 7 for now, but it's a current candle of indecision. Ahead of 7, we're long at 18s. It's showing 9s. I do have a dip trade into 03s to defend that level. But I want to bring to your attention another trade, not trade, but another name that is making a move currently that I haven't taken anything on, but that's showing up right now. NUVB. Now, this one did lose VWAP. I want to say kind of as we started the show, right at 11:10, it lost VWAP, but it's been doing quite well since losing VWAP at that time. And I would have said I'm not going to trade this until it makes a move above 380. Well, it has, and it has plenty. 389 current candle high. And why would I say 380 there? Because I always worry about area high with lower lows. So that would, to me, would mean a bit of a downward channel. But that got broken, right? Because you cleared that 380 area with these prints. So this one could be on its way to 395, if not 395, obviously, is the high of the day. So I'm going to keep my eye on this one. The ticker is NUVB, and it's up 20.5%. It's not the biggest mover on the day, but it had a really nice move up right at the start of the show at 9:30. It had some decent price action moves in the pre-market. I mean, not really. It closed at 322. Yesterday, and then by the time we were ringing the bell here at 9:30, we had gotten up to about 339, 340 area. So it was kind of making a move in the pre-market, not the biggest I've ever seen. So we'll keep tabs on those. So for me right now, it's just DPRO at 889. It's showing me 890, so we're flawed on that. And MLTX, I'm looking to defend 7 on this one, Joey.
Good look, good look, good look. So yeah, there goes SMCI. We were talking about this as a potential breakup here as well. Boom, moving to the top side. So not too horrible of a look on that one. Now, as for some other names, guys, put some in the chat. We'll touch on them. Let's see. We'll go through here. Number Bria. Let's see some more. Oh, sorry. This is what I actually wanted to do first. So we have Cecile Webb. Having some issues with trendline trading, bounces, and breaks, particularly on entries. Could you give a quick word of advice? Yeah, so for me personally, is that when you're drawing your trend lines, respect them. We can take a look at some basic ones right here. We'll go through a couple of names in the likes of Robinhood. So I was short here at the top end of the range, right? But you can see once that trend line was broken to the downside, you get that continuation. But one thing to note, obviously, the higher the time frame, I think the more weight that the trend is going to hold. You get a lot of whipsaw moves on the lower time frames, 1, 5 minutes. Even though they are highly respected, higher time frame, the more respected, I believe, in my opinion, it is. Also, keep an eye on the volume, because if you're looking for breakouts, you want to see the volume step in. So what are you going to do? You're going to be keeping a gauge on this to see, hey, is there an increasing amount? I don't know if you have access to level 2 in time of sales. Then you want to see the clear flushes at the ask, above the ask, if you're looking for moves to the top side, and below, at the bid and below the bid if you're looking for those flushes to the downside. And just keep an eye on what they're respecting, right? So this is what we're drawing. You want to have as many touches as possible. I think 3 is kind of that base case that you want to look for, and the more, the stronger it's going to be. So yeah, again, eyes on the trend. If it breaks it to the downside, what is the volume telling you? If it breaks it to the top side, what is the volume telling you? And then just respect it. If something's continuously rejecting a level, next time it comes into it, look for the potential fade or the pop if it's off of a support or a resistance, all right? So that's the best advice I can personally give you. I'm sure Sharif, Obi, and Sean have some other good words of advice on that one as well, too, because I think focusing on your trends are extremely, extremely important, all right? Yeah, big time bounce right there. Glad we're not short on the Nasdaq because you are starting to get a little bit of a move through those wicks that we were referring to earlier. Microsoft is coming into play. So there it is, nice move off of those lows, opens up south of the volume weighted average price, sells off all the way to 509 and recovers nicely, puts in a new high of day right around 517.50s, and then now you have this inverted right here that's I'm going to be keeping my eyes on. Yes, there is one at the at VWAP as well too, so keep your eye on that. But boom, see if that move comes into VWAP for MSFT there, Sharif.
Great call out, Chuck of all trades. I was trying to message you there, but yeah, I got cut off because Joey's passed it to me.
Ooh, do you want me to take
No,
it back there?
I just look at it over here. NCNA. Oh, Assassino. He's got to create beef, bro. Assassino. Oh, my goodness. This is a great call out, dude. This is as good as it's going to get, man. NCNA is the ticker. Let's go, baby. 23.75%, and there is the breakout. 475 high, and this is a trade de novo. This really only started doing volume, guys, at 1135. Look at that. So this candle right here, that's 1135. This right here, that's 930. So from 930 till 1135, it did bupkis, and now it's doing plenty. We're going to cover this and many more when we get back from Madeira.
Yeah, we have Donald Trump saying now he's taking questions. He said specifically he will only be answering questions about this announcement with regards to Pfizer and medicine, so only that. But yeah, what he's saying here is that Eli Lilly has been fantastic. Eli Lilly breaking to new high of days. But the bigger thing here is that he said that if these drug companies don't lower their prices, they will be tariffing them at an equivalent amount. Not clear what the equivalent is going to be. I guess the equivalent to the amount that the price would have been lowered. But either way, he said there will be tariffs if you do not actually lower prices. He said they'll be tariffing all pharma companies 5 to 8% extra if they don't strike a deal. Back to you.
NCNA is really going here, okay? So we have to cover this. It's going to take out the high of the day, which is 484. It's already showing 84 on the ask. It's spready at times, okay? I think that will probably tighten up as we get a bit more volume, but right now it's 10 pennies. I did not expect this. It didn't really look like that when I initially looked at it. Still 10 pennies, 81 on the ask, 71 on the bid, tightening up now 3, 76, 79. So as the volume does come in, we're likely going to tighten up on the spread. It's just about being able to stay involved and having the compunction to be able to kind of see that and to pick the right levels, which I think is going to be the deciding factor in this case. So look, I see some resistance at the $0.50. Obviously, anybody could see that. You kind of topping tilled multiple times into the $0.50. It looks like we're on a breakout right now. How we get in is going to be a little bit of a tougher endeavor, at least for me over here. So 484, we're showing 70s. Current bar low, 60s, right? And prior bar low, 46s. So it's not like you can place your stop at prior bar low. It'll have to be at current bar low. Dropping down now into the 60s, so it's forming into a topping tail of sorts right now. Let's see, do we get a bid over here? Now the spread's really opening up. 14 pennies now on the spread on NCNA. It's over 1 million shares. As I mentioned, this one just started doing volume at 11:35. It did almost nothing for 2 hours and 5 minutes. I don't say nothing, but it did very little. So this is an ugly topping tail candle right now that just closed on the 5. But as we know, and as we've talked about many times, topping tail candles on small cap gappers are not the same thing as seeing a topping tail candle on a Meta or an Apple or an Amazon, whatever. It's not the same thing, right? People are taking profits over here. These are intraday trades mostly. So let's see exactly what we get. We're dropping down a little bit more. I'm starting to see 58s come in on the bid side of the level 2. Now we're dropping into 60, 61. We haven't had a bid quite yet. Let's see what the $0.50 does. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to put a dip trade at the $0.50. We're going to front run it, obviously, true to form. We'll sit at 54s, come what may. If it prints, it prints. It doesn't, it doesn't. The idea here is really going to be to defend the $0.50. As I mentioned, and as you guys can see over here, bottom chart, on your screen, the $0.50 was an area of actual resistance intraday. Now, whether or not it maintains itself as an area of resistance, we'll have to wait and see. So, Joey, I think I might have to actually punch in at a little bit higher of a price here because it's not making a new candle or a candle to make a new low. So I want to punch in, and then I'll DCA into the $0.50 if it'll allow me in. We're going to try to get in. We're not getting in here. And I put a 4 penny offset. We're still not getting printed. That's the kind of spread we have to deal with over here, or the illiquidity, at least on the bid side. It's not letting me in, bro. So we'll watch over here, and we'll see if we can get in. I'm talking about NCNA up 22.75%.
All right, good look. Did you go through some of these?
No, I've been.
Okay, no. I'm just asking you. I don't want to go over them.
No.
Again, views. Okay, so Prash.
Goodness gracious.
Hands. I apologize for the absolute butcher, and nor do I have any idea what kind of currency that is. But 40 of them. We like that. Thank you very much, my friend.
No.
Views on Electra Battery Materials Corp. Okay, what is the ticker of that? I have no idea. We're going to find that out here for you momentarily, and then we're going to take a little bit of that. I don't even think I can. Electra. What is that? Battery Materials Corp. Let's see if that pulls up here. Oops. Is that a TSE? Nope, that's not it. Okay, we're going to get back to that. I promise you we will. I'm just going to go through the other super chats first, and then whenever I send it back to Shrafe, I'll look that up for you there. I'm not going to. Mr. P, we'll go with that. And then, yeah, so, all right. Now, SPX Surfer. Watch out, Mike Peter Ryder. We got another surfer here. Thank you, Adara. Adara, again, catching all of the love today for all the work of you that you do. Great work on Open. Thank you very much. $20 American. So that's
big boy money.
Yeah, it's 35 snow peso right there, printed on BENF. Thanks for covering earlier, Sharif. Love the show. Have learned so much listening to you guys while I trade. Says Grunfield. 2312 $5 super chat. Thank you very much. BENF. We'll take a look at that one here momentarily just for you, and we'll take a look at Open Door. Boom, it's gone. Have you traded that today, Sharif?
Open Door? No, I haven't.
BENF. Boom, off to the races. 60 cents, almost up to $1 there. Beautiful look. We like those types of breakouts. You get in at the lower end of the range, and you let it Mike P. the ride, as Sean said this morning. We like that one. And then now, as for Open Door, let's take a look at Open Door. It's been starting to cool off lately here, guys. Let's see what we got going on from a daily standpoint. How far off of those highs are we, to be exact? 25%. That's bearish territory right there, folks. So keep an eye out on Open Door. One positive thing here, though, guys, is that it hasn't sold off extremely aggressively. I understand that 25% may be a lot, especially if you're pumping in or jumping in around those highs. You're not going to have a good time being down 25%. But if you really have faith in this name, you grab a little bit more. If it breaks $7, get out of the trade. Adara, what do you got for us?
And just a quick update here. We know we're waiting to hear about the government shutdown. Trump just said very casually, we'll probably have a shutdown. So again, as Michael Noss went over yesterday during the recap, the market actually usually performs pretty well during shutdowns. But regardless, an update here. Trump seems to think that the chance of a shutdown is very likely. Back to you.
Adara.
All right. Yeah. So as for that, guys, NEVA. Yeah. Let's take a look at that one for you. Asks Nader QA and Nader QA again. All right. Asking twice.
Get it, Nader.
Yeah. Nader. Oh, I was gonna say Brooks.
It's
Nader.
Probably Nader.
I was gonna say it's probably. I'm probably saying it right with an extreme Canadian accent.
That's okay.
Point, so
how else are you supposed to say it?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
so
like not your fault.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just an Arabic.
How was it?
Nader.
Nader.
Nader means like infrequent.
Infrequent?
Yeah, or rarely.
Rarely. Ooh,
yeah.
Okay. Rarely. We don't want that one.
Because most.
But a lot of them don't. But as for Tiva, I have no idea. Here's another pharmaceutical name, Sharif. That's a big time move, all the way from 1935 to 2010. I mean, from a dollar standpoint, nothing crazy, but intraday, moving really well. Curl over, holds the base, and then sure enough, right above the volume-weighted average price, you're now off to the races. Let's take a look at it from a daily. Okay, I really like this. One, you're breaking through that $20 level, we'll call it flat. It seems like a really strong bullish candle there, and you're entering into a gap. So keep an eye out on a potential full gap fill right there. Maybe, or sorry, half, about 50%, I meant to say, to 2060. Look to take some profits before you experience somewhat of an aggressive pullback.
All right, NCNA is being good to us here. Joey, options, it takes out the area. High, boom. We got 70s on. We just took 5s there on NCNA. Very strong. Here we go. $5 resistance. Let's see if we can get a little bit higher. We're going to take out another beak wetter right there. We're waiting at 505. We got to take out some more here, Joey options. We're going to wait at 512. It's showing me 5s on the bid, on the ask. 505, that is, on the ask, but it's not clearing on the bid. But look what else is breaking out. Oh, no. MLTX is breaking out, too. Don't say it. It ain't so. I don't know why I'm getting all excited like this, bro. I'm not
get
gonna lie.
Get excited, man.
Katina Man. Today I remember that negative Nancy was trying to hate on the Katina Man earlier for being all pumped up, and we had to let him know.
Don't
bro.
let him dim your light, guys. Don't let
no.
him. I'm always curious to what Katina Man's got going on over there.
I don't know, bro. He's always. Oh, are you returning your iPhone there? What's going on over there, Katina Man?
He's got something.
He's always doing something over there.
Or something?
The taxes. It's a box, dog. All right, Joey options. MLTX. Into the high. He's paying his taxes with a gold bar. Say it ain't so, Katina Man. MLTX is taking out highs. NCNA is taking out highs. They're both at highs right now. Go, you little buggers. All right, so now we're waiting at 12s on NCNA. It's showing me 8s, 10s now, 13s. Boom into the high. We're going to go ahead and wait a little bit higher here. 523 we're posting up at. 513 high day.
Okay.
Back now to MLTX. Seller at 31. Run for your life, bro.
Get
They're
out of
coming
there, bro.
for you. All right, we're going to look for 32. Here it comes. We're waiting at 33. Keeping an eye on MLTX. This one's a midday mover. It only really started going, guys, at around 11:30. And here we go. And boom, into the area high. We take him out again. It's a 738 high now. We're waiting a little bit higher as well. And guess what? We're going to wait in the 40s as well here, Joey Options. So we're going to wait at 46s. We're posting up there. We'll see what we get. And my man, Neil, I know you are not with us today, but we will not get upset. We're going to stay emotionless. Clearly, I'm emotionless right now. Very no emotion whatsoever. So shout out to you, my man.
Never mind all that. Don't let them dim your light. You keep doing you. That's all that matters. As much as it may frustrate other people, it doesn't matter what your name is. It doesn't matter what your name is. All right, we're in a different name here than we usually are, guys. Trump on shutdown. Nothing is inevitable, but it's probably something. I missed that last.
What do you say, Adara? Just weasel in, Adara. Weasel in.
Someone put the headline up.
So Trump is really indicating that there's probably going to be a shutdown. Someone asked him, is it inevitable? He said, nothing's inevitable, but it's probably likely. And that is a quote. So, yeah, earlier he just said, like, mid-sentence, randomly, we're probably going to have a shutdown. So, I mean, yeah, just keep that in mind. Also, just a quick update as well. He's mentioned Regeneron and Eli Lilly quite frequently, so keep an eye on those tickers.
Thank you, Adara, for that. Always giving us the goods. Adara LePage. It's not the same around here without her. We know that. We need Adara. She brings us the goods. She lets us know what Donald's doing and what the market is doing at large, obviously. So shout out to Adara. Okay. All right, MLTX. Joey, we did it again. It took out yet another high of day. We got 03s on MLTX. We just wet the beak there at 46s. A high of the day is 48s. So we're going to keep a piece over here. We're holding several pieces, quite frankly, here on MLTX. So we're not in grave danger of running out of shares. But NCNA, 518 high. It loses the bid, drops below 5, Joey. But what is keeping me optimistic about the trade on NCNA is the current 5-minute candle has a substantially higher low than its predecessor. Its predecessor has a low of 474. This one has a low of 491. And there is the print again. So now we're going to be waiting at 5.25. We will not take profits on NCNA until and if it hits 5.25. Otherwise, we'll get stopped out at 469. I'll probably put my stop a little bit below that, like 60, give it a bit of a buffer. So that's what I'm keeping my eye on right now. I've neglected to mention anything about the DPRO trade because it's clearly hovering below 9, and I don't know why, and I don't want to keep taking shares out over here on DPRO because I feel like this could be a flat top break through 9, right? It's zigging and zagging with 9, but there's clearly a seller of note at 9 on DPRO. We've been ranging in this way since we lost 9 at around 12 o'clock. So I just wet the beak there super quick. I know it's a quarter to. We got to start the news. I can flatten out my trades now, Joey. But, you know, let's just see if we can run a little bit here and get some more money. What do you got, my man?
I'm riding, man. We got to ride.
Riding dirty, though?
Yeah, we got to ride through the shout out to, what's that guy's name again? Oh, got to catch me riding dirty.
Want to catch me riding dirty?
Oh, what was
who
his
sings
name?
That?
Oh,
I didn't hear the song from...
Riding dirty. Trying to catch me riding dirty.
Is it not Chameleonaire?
It is Chameleonaire. Yes, it is. It is Chameleonaire. Way to go.
Yes. A really good Weird Al version of that, too.
Is there actually?
Weird Al?
I like how she just leaves when she says that.
Weird Al.
She just shuts the door. Like, we can't even say anything back to her.
Get Weird Al out of here.
Oh, my God.
Sorry, Adara.
Get it, Adara.
Crash hand.
Yeah.
Crash hand. Thank you for the additional 40. I have no idea what currency that is. Maybe...
Is that the what, Adara?
Yeah. So let me know.
Yeah. I don't really listen to him, but my sister's like a fan, so I know some of the songs, yeah.
All right. Assassino, let me know what currency this is if you could, please and thank you. What is that thing there? What is that here? Yeah, we have no idea, but we got 40 of them. Well, we got 80 total of them, so thank you for that. Guys, you can see that we're short a name that we're usually not, but I like some of these hammer candles. Maybe we get a move into the volume-weighted average price, and there it is. bang, straight to the downside, 663. We're going to be holding that. As seen, I'm still waiting to figure out what currency that is. But anyways, aside from that, let's go to Electra Battery Materials Corporation, the good old Canadian company right here, and it is not performing too well. So, I mean, off of these lows, you're all right, but the chances of getting in at that specific level are obviously relatively low as well, too. You zoom out, this is not a good look whatsoever. Oh, my days. It's an Indian rupee? Okay, thank you very much for that, Assassino. So there it is, right? Like ELBM, absolutely horrendous from a daily standpoint. Even though it's Canadian, we love it. We're not going to hold any form of biases. We're going to give it to you just exactly how we see it, whether you like it or not. Because what would you rather do? Have someone lie to your face, or someone just be straight up and honest and say, hey, I don't like it, I like it, whatever it may be. Okay, I don't like this, even though it is Canadian. We can go into the 5-minute standpoint. There's big time liquidity issues. If you're looking to get involved in some Canadian names, check this one out right here. Bang. Daily. What? Who do we think we are over here north of the border? The TSX composite right here, guys. Bang, bang, bang. Off of those April lows. That's a move for the folks up here in the Great White North. We love seeing that 60%. No, that's not right. Don't get too ahead of yourself there, Joseph. 35%. Okay? So that's the look there on the TSX. As for the Electra battery materials, put a couple bucks in there, $1,000, whatever it may be, and just sit on it to see if you do get that inevitable bounce. So I shouldn't say inevitable, sorry, just in case you do get that bounce that you're looking for. But there's another Canadian name that I want to pull up and see how this thing is doing. Wow. So these guys are dealing with some, I believe, like gold futures and something along those lines. I have a really good friend who's been involved with this for quite some time. So this thing is looking like it's going to want to continue to the north. He's like, Joe, you want to get involved in this from years ago. He was telling me about this name. And I'm like, you know what? I'm okay. But congratulations to him for absolutely just killing it. But it's Party P. Happy birthday in advance, Joe. Oh. Who's winning the main event, do you think? Thank you for the $5 super chat, my friend, and much appreciated for the Earth Strong wishes. All right. Yes, Sunday is my Earth Strong.
What does that mean?
It's a Jamaican thing for
birthday.
For like birthday. It's like your happy birthday. It's like your birthday. Yeah.
So saying Earth Strong is birthday?
Yeah.
Okay.
So happy Earth Strong.
I like it.
Big Earth Strong day. So yeah, who's winning that main event? I think Ankalaev is. But if Pereira isn't as timid as he was in the previous fight and opens up, I think he has a chance to knock him out. So, yeah, but I think...
His name is Ankalaev?
Ankalaev. Magomed Ankalaev.
Interesting.
Why?
I just hear ankle.
You know an ankle?
All I hear is ankle. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see what we got going on. Man, it's an absolute stacked card. I can't wait for this weekend.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah, it's a big time card.
I'll be watching that.
Two championship fights.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best bantamweights of all time fighting, and then you have some light heavyweights going at it for the gold as well too. And then some big time contenders as well too for the light heavyweight division. Yuri Prohaska.
What's light heavyweight in UFC?
205. 205. Yeah. 205 there.
Substantially different than boxing, obviously. Right?
Yeah, big time. Yeah, I mean, there's a every half pound there's a weight class in boxing. It feels like.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Sarcastic on.
No, but there is in the lighter ones. Yeah, and then it gets a little wider. Yeah.
I think that's too much, right? I can understand 2.5. Right, but it has to go like 2.5 to 5 pounds. You can't have it half pounds.
Yeah, but those are like in the 130s, 120s, Joey. Once you get into the 140, it's 140, 147, 154, 160, 167, 175, 190.
It's like 142.5, 145.
No, it's 140, which is welterweight, and then there's super welterweight. Sorry, junior welterweight is 140.
Yeah.
Welterweight is 147. Super welterweight or junior middleweight is 154. right?
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay. All right, so there you go. You know your boxing divisions
Oh, I love
more
boxing,
than I do.
bro.
Yeah, you love boxing. So you know
I love
there's too many divisions in there for me. But in all seriousness, yeah, this name's looking really good. We're still short the SPY here as well. So we'll keep our eyes out. If we can get that break into 166, or sorry, to $663, then we're going to look to piece them off. VWAP would be even better considering that, I mean, the SPY is relatively choppy, right? We got a low of around 661.50, and then we have a high of around 664. So we're trading within that $3.50 range, right? So there's nothing substantial going on from a appreciation standpoint. A lot of sideways price action.
All right, Joey. We're going to start the news, but I just want to say what's up to a couple of people. Tofu, shout out to the OG Tofu, dropping $1 super chat in the chat, but no message, my man. Tag myself or Joseph if you wanna pass on along a message. Shout out to M, $4.99, dropping cash in the chat. Reads as follows: will there ever be a pullback on gold to 3,600? I'm down so much. I should have just got out last week. I don't know what to do anymore. I can't sleep. I'm assuming you were shorting gold. So let's have a look here, brother. And from what I'm reading, I'm not hearing about a whole lot of institutional buying of gold. What I'm hearing is central banks and treasuries buying gold. Now, make of that what you will, obviously. Let's have a look at the, should we have a look at the, what's it called? Futures. So not the E-micro, but we're going to go with the regular. We're going to do the continuous contract, Joey, just so that we can actually see the price action. So 3,600. I'm assuming you're looking at 3,600 because it's where this area topped out in late April. I'm assuming this is when the market started turning because that is the tariff tantrum. April 22nd is typically when the market started turning. That's also where gold topped out momentarily, of course. It dropped back down to 3,200, so it lost about $400 right there. Now it's on a rampage. So I do like your thinking, okay? You're looking at a previous area of resistance and you're looking to see if price action will revert back into that area for support. So I like your thinking outright. Now, whether or not we get that pullback, I don't know, right? Like, it's so nuanced, this gold trade. It's a lot more complicated than taking the fundamentals or technicals of a company because there's just so many different dynamics at play. It's hard to say, but one thing is for certain, gold's not going to go up in a straight line, right? It will pull back. There will be pullbacks. It's just how deep. So we're basically knocking on the door of 3,900. Today's high is 38.9920, essentially 39. So you're looking for at least a $300 pullback off the highs that we made today. Is that unusual? I would say no, because you already got that pullback like we just spoke about in April. You topped out at 3,600, albeit, a couple of dollars shy of that. It was exactly 35.95, so let's just say 36. And you did drop down and you held strictly to 3,200. So you got a $400 drop. That would be basically less than what you're looking for. You're looking from a 3,900 to a 3,600. So that's a $300 drop. I just don't see it happening immediately. It looks like we are on a bit of a bull run. How far and, when the pullback comes is a bit of a different story. Let's see where this one found support. So there does seem to be generally respect, at least on this chart, for the 50 moving average on the daily for gold. This is the continuous contract, by the way, so it blends in multiple contracts together. There's math to this that I learned once upon a time with John J. Murphy's book, but I've since forgotten it, how to blend in the contracts and make a continuous contract. You can figure it out, though, if you'd like. So, yeah, I do like that. The 50 is exactly where 3,600 is. That doesn't mean that when the pullback comes, the 50 will still be at 3,600. I hate to leave you off like this because you look like you're not, I don't want to say not in good shape, but you're clearly not happy about being out of the money like this. That is the problem also, and you probably don't want to hear this, of going short, is that theoretically, at least, you have an unlimited potential loss because, in theory, the price can go up an unlimited amount versus when you're long, you can only just go to zero and lose your entire investment, not more than that. But I wish you the best, brother. I think the pullbacks are coming. Look for a close below the 10 EMA. Since the breakout started happening after this consolidative level, I want to say from April to early September, we were basically in a consolidation area with 35.50 being that resistance. If you get a pullback, I would say look for a closing print below that green line. That's a 10 EMA. That would probably be your first hint that we may be on the way to pullback, because since that that early September breakout, we haven't lost the 10 EMA once. Even when we tested it over here on September 18th and September 19th, look how we ended up closing above it. It was only on a wick basis where we lost the 10 EMA on the daily. So I hope that helps, brother, but let me know how it goes, obviously. And I'm wishing you the best of luck, Joey. Any comments about gold before we start the news?
Yeah, I don't want to, again, I'm just going to give it to you as real as possible. And a lot of people in the chat have been saying it as well, too. Why, I don't know, I just don't understand. I need to know a little bit more in depth of how your thinking was going, shorting probably one of the strongest assets out there. It's not a good look. Sharif's already brought up the charts. I can bring up the ETF as well and take a look at that to just tell you what I see. But again, yeah, 3,600 is what you're looking for. I don't know, man. Look at the length of this consolidation and it breaks out. This is a genuine asset. Go back in history. This is the daily. If we go to the weekly, this is what we talk about standing in front of this is more than a freight train. This is a military train carrying every form of military. With tanks and everything along those lines. No, but in all seriousness, I don't want to shed too much humor on the fact.
No,
it's just that
that's not what we mean to do.
No, it's not. It's you're gonna learn your lesson. If you do have the chance to get back to break even, just get out, cut your losses. I'm not going to tell you to DCA into this buy more at the highs, because that can just accumulate them more and more and more. A lot of people are saying cut your losses. Are you going to get a deep pullback? We'll go back in the history of what gold has been doing and what is the deepest pullback, right? You're not getting that much. You're not going to see that 25, 30% currently right now. So, yeah, you really got to start game planning. I don't know if you're familiar with options, your futures contracts, so it's not even going to really help you that much. And I wouldn't be like, hey, start buying some puts or selling some puts or something along those lines. Don't do that. Well, I mean, you could go back. You can look to mitigate by buying calls or buying puts, right? But I'm not going to try to get you more in deeper than what you currently are. You got to come up with a game plan and strategize for yourself. But Sharif, what do you got?
Guys, each year, sadly, 3.8 million concussions are reported in the U.S., yet there's still no FDA-approved treatment. New York Stock Exchange listed Orgenex, trading under ticker OGEN, is trying to change all that, guys, with its first-in-class intranasal drug designed for rapid brain access. And with the concussion treatment market actually projected to reach about $8.9 billion by 2027, Orgenex is uniquely positioned to lead the way. So if you're interested to learn more and schedule a meeting, check out Orgenex, OGEN on the NYSE. Thank you to OGEN. And thank you to Vaughn Clark Buru. Fantastic look on BURU. Asesino, is donkey, is it the same in Spanish as it is in Portuguese? What is it called? Okay, no. Is Chilean Nightmare there? Burro, right? Is that? Burro, that's what. Yeah, I was just making sure. All right. Yeah. Shouldn't you be telling me that, Mr. Duolingo?
No, I wasn't even listening, brother, to be honest with you.
I'm playing, bro.
Yeah.
BURU, guys, this is breaking out. Make a long story short, this is a really good look right now. It's a 17 penny name. BURU is a ticker. I'm trying to throw that on there. Basically, did very little volume until right here, 12:45. I'm looking for the reason why this is moving. I'm seeing nothing. I'm seeing a couple of headlines from yesterday. Nuburu quarterly strategic update, poised for growth in defense security. This is just a headline from yesterday. There's nothing from the 30th today. There was another headline, sees Q4 billings of about 500,000. Again, that was yesterday's headline. So not anything today. So the fact that it's breaking out right now, I don't know why, and I don't have anything on my blotter to account for it. Needless to say, traded carefully. It's a sub $1 name, and until, you know, a few seconds ago, it was trading at around 14 and a half pennies. It has now got a high of almost 17 and a half pennies. Let's look at the daily on this. Obviously, you know, we've seen charts like this before. You know, they make area spikes. Is it a former runner? The answer to that is yes. So it has these outsized days where we see huge topping tail candles. When you typically see these huge topping tail candles in smaller bodies, like the one we're seeing here on the 27th, that's an intraday runner that ends up, you know, maybe going back red or going back break even on the day. So it has a propensity to run. It looks as also when it's been running as of late, like for example, on the 2nd of September, it had a big boy day as well, where it, you know, got off the schneid to the tune of almost 60%. And then it ended up rejecting the 50 and dropping back down. So I would be biased that this might find some resistance at around 18 2/3, maybe 19 pennies, maybe 20, and then turns back around and it'll have a red day tomorrow. Did it on September 2nd, September 3rd. Traded carefully, guys. BURU, the ticker. Joey, anything you have to say before we start the news?
Absolutely. That is going to be the short on the SPY there, guys. SPY, short, bang.
Okay.
Pure liquidity grab this was right here, and I'm glad that we held on to it. So it does rip about 30 cents higher, but we're like, nah, you know what? Bang. We're going to wait, hit that 1-to-1, take some off. Now we're starting to grind a little bit lower. There we go. And the Nasdaq, the SPY, starting to take another nosedive there, my friend.
No.
We'll take one more off. Bang, and then we have one more out. So there's the short on the SPY, 5-minute candle, giving me the green light to go. And there it is. Volume print, inverted candle. This is obviously the ideal entry, but we'll take it at the lower end of the range, now south of the volume weighted average price. A really good look on the SPY short.
All right, let's start the news. So we'll start talking about Intel and the fact that they completed their $2 billion private placement with Masayoshi Son-led SoftBank. So on the 26th of September this year, obviously, Intel completed the issuance and sale of almost 87 million shares of common stock and was given to SoftBank Group. The shares were priced at $23 a pop, totaling about $2 billion in cash in proceeds. The sale was executed under the securities purchase agreement as a private placement. The deal provides Intel, obviously, with additional liquidity as it continues to scale its foundry business and invest in manufacturing amid, obviously, the rising interest in semiconductors for AI. Also, separately, KeyBank Capital did, this is not in my notes, guys, because I couldn't find the article, but KeyBank Capital did look at Intel's 18A node. Now, we've been talking a lot about Intel's 2 nodes that they're trying to build out in their foundry business. There's the 18A, which is very similar to Taiwan Semi's 3-nanometer chips, and the 14A, that's similar to the 2, that's the more advanced. The 18A node, I think it's called Silver Lake or something like that. They have a code name for it. It looks as if it might be delayed yet again. Now, that's not surprising because a lot of the foundries that are under construction, like the one in Ohio, is also being delayed. So I feel as if maybe the foundry business, we still haven't bottomed, despite the fact that Intel's getting a lot of liquidity to help its foundry business. But as we saw, Joey, and as we've talked about before, Intel, AMD, as well as others, they both tested and passed on the 18A, the 14A node. They knew all about it. They chose not to take it, and they chose to go with Taiwan Semi instead. Okay? In addition to that, the $5 billion that Nvidia just threw Intel's way will have nothing to do with Intel's foundry business. This is a product deal. It's about PCs, CPUs, and nothing to do with their AI chips. So we're still having trouble with the foundry business with no clients.
Absolutely, and I was just about to say that, Sharif. That's been the biggest issue with Intel is just they don't have a broad customer base. They don't have any of these hyperscalers. They're getting these investments. That's positive. Obviously, the timing is obvious. Definitely, what's the word I'm looking for? The timing is what's the word I'm looking for there, Sharif? Anyways, it's convenient, essentially what I'm getting at there, considering that Donald Trump taking the 10% stake into Intel. Okay, and then sure enough, a couple of days later, you're getting the investment from the likes of NVDA, now from Masayoshi Son and SoftBank. Not too bad of a look there. And from a technical standpoint, the name is breaking out. So for me personally, if there's I think what we need to focus on here with Intel is that it's accumulation of small wins, right? So they're getting these investments, another win here, deal with SoftBank, and then now from a technical standpoint, you're seeing that breakout be sustained. I think that it's going to continue on this path, especially if they continue to accumulate small win after small win. If they can get the foundry business slightly better and acquire some more customers, I think you'll see a big time breakout in Intel.
All right. I hope for the best, obviously. I'm never really pounding the table against Intel or anything like that.
And I mentioned before, right, in kind of in the environment that we're sitting in with the AI boom, and you're seeing these chip companies just put in insane valuations, and Intel not participating, that's highly alarming, right? There's something else deeper going on behind the scenes. If they get it right, things can slowly start to turn around. Lip-Bu's only been in, what, for about 2 quarters now?
Something like that.
Two full quarters, 2.5, whatever it may be. Give the guy some time. Let's see if he can acquire some big-time customers and get everything going right with the foundry business.
All right, Adara, you're the one that threw in that KeyBank Capital note in the watch list. Give us more information.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, basically what I put in there was what I saw. I saw like a little kind of snippet of an analyst note there with regards to that. I don't have too much more than what was on the watch list, truthfully, for it. But I mean, we'll talk here. I want to mention this as well with regards to Nvidia, because now that Trump is kind of implying that they could invest in this company, U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer apparently was asked if the Trump administration discussed taking a stake in Nvidia. He said, quote, Trump would love a stake in every company that's doing well. Now, Trump, for the record, has previously said that he doesn't feel they need to invest in Nvidia. Nvidia is doing incredibly well. The stock just made new all-time highs. But I do want to mention that regardless. Yeah, I mean, I think with Intel, I want to wait. What's the next shoe to drop? Who's going to invest in them next? You know what I mean? So that's really the take on that. I think the story here is kind of the same. And I do suspect, as I've said previously, I think we're probably going to get more reports of, oh, so-and-so company invest in Intel, X, Y, Z company. And I think, as you were saying yesterday, I think it's a good point. What I want to see is any of these companies that are really going to be in big trouble with regards to these one-for-one chip tariffs.
Yeah,
those are the companies that I think should be investing in Intel. I don't think it needs to be a TSM or an Apple. We both know those are going to be in Trump's administration's good books. Let's see people who are struggling, who are going to need that help. I think that should be the play.
Well said, Adara. Let's go on to another chip story. Yes, it's another chip story. Excuse me. So the U.S. is actually putting pressure on Taiwan and Taiwan Semiconductor, obviously, to share chip production 50-50 with America. Let's get into more detail. So the Trump administration is urging Taiwan, the country, don't come at me, to shift parts of its semiconductor production to the U.S. with a goal of producing 50% of America's chips domestically. So Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick made the comments yesterday, and he said that they want to cut the reliance on Taiwan, which currently manufactures about 90% of all the world's advanced semiconductors. Dang, Intel. The U.S., by the end of President Donald Trump's term, wants to be able to produce about 40% of their domestic chip production. Well, yes, domestically. That would require about, according to this report, more than $500 billion worth of local investment. So Taiwan's dominance in chip making is which is led by TSMC, has been looked at as a protective shield. Some people called it the silicon shield, protecting the island from Chinese aggression because they're so important to everybody else because they make all the semiconductors, all the advanced semiconductors there. Lutnick downplayed the shield's effectiveness, saying he argued that Taiwan would be safer if chip production was more balanced between the U.S. and Taiwan. His opinion. TSMC obviously has expansionary plans in the United States, namely in Arizona. They've been building the U.S. manufacturing facilities since 2020. And they recently announced another $100 billion investment, bringing the total spend to about $165 billion in building out local U.S. foundries to build out advanced chips. The Donald Trump administration proposed 100% tariffs on semiconductors, but exempted, as we know, Joey, companies investing in the U.S. from these penalties. Taiwan, they want more produced in the U.S. They don't think that it's protecting them in the way that they think, the Silicon Shield sort of theory.
I think so. First of all, Sharif, read what Sports and Stonk said there, because it's what I was about to lead into.
I mean, I jokingly call him lunatic, but that's a love it. That one is deep.
That is crazy.
That's deep right there.
No, but in all seriousness, he you know, it was on the table, right? It's like, okay, yeah, you want to get a share of the American economy. It's going to cost you a lot more. They're going to be investing significantly more than what was initially put into the states, and I think that's something positive. It's going to add more protection. I think, in my opinion, the more money that they spend, so that the Americans can onshore, it's going to benefit TSM. And yeah, I think that's where it lays. Is China always going to be a threat? I think so. At some point, some things will start to cool down. How immediate is it? I don't think it is whatsoever. It would cause a lot of problems, obviously, like what's going on with Ukraine and other unfortunate events in the world. They would just get tariffed throughout the wazoo, and then eventually it would just really, really hurt the economy. So yeah, as for TSM, fantastic look off of those April lows, and then you have this pullback that's only 9%. So if you go back to April 7th to where we're currently trading at, you've doubled your money. You're up 104%. That is a big time move. I like Taiwan Semi, just considering the environment that we're currently in. It's AI, it's semiconductors, it's chips, it's chips, it's chips. I think that this name is going to be in play for the foreseeable future until that CapEx starts to cool down. I love Taiwan Semiconductor.
All right, Adira, had you heard of the Silicon Shield before? Because this is my personally the first time I'm hearing about it.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. I think we do have to acknowledge the elephant in the room, which is that these comments are coming from Howard Lutnick, and we know, I've noticed at least a trend of like Howard Lutnick, to a much lesser extent Jameson Greer, and then Scott Bessent. Usually the most kind of reliable commentary is going to come from Bessent and maybe Jameson Greer. A lot of the things Lutnick says are then immediately kind of undercut or denied by other members of the Trump administration, sometimes including Bessent. So I will definitely put that out there. Like, this is the same man who said, oh, you know, they want to get back to like all the Americans putting the phones together with their hands and everything. So I always like to keep that out there. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to wait and see what happens here. TSM, just get to specifically to TSM, like we mentioned, they've already committed quite a lot here to the U.S. with regards to investment. I think either way, they are going to be doing that investing in manufacturing in the U.S. regardless of this situation. But yeah, the Silicon Shield is something I need to look more into. And I wonder at this point if the Silicon Shield does unfortunately face a bit of a risk. And I say that because I heard like later today, after this came out, I heard commentary saying that China like making some kind of statement like, hey, like Taiwan is not, you know, not supposed to be independent, right? And they said that.
Oh, they've been saying that for a while.
This story, right? So I think the Silicon Shield that'd be great if it lasts. Hopefully it does. We'll have to find out, though.
Did you hear that when President Trump, he's slated to meet with President Xi, I think in Korea, Adira, maybe next month, maybe the month after that, I'm not exactly sure, but they are slated to meet this year, not on anybody's turf, so neutral territory. Apparently, according to reports, and I know how you feel about speculating, but apparently President Xi will ask President Trump to make some sort of statement on Taiwan. Because there's sort of been that, you know, ambiguity with the U.S., you know, are they supporting their independence or whatever? I want to see how that all works out, because that's going to be, well, they're in the middle of negotiations there. Let's just talk, let's call a spade, right? Can we really separate politics from business? I don't know. So we'll have to wait and see. Great take on that. Thank you, Adira. Let's go on to the next one.
Let me touch on the markets here real quick, guys. There, SPY short. We're all out of that one. A big time move to the downside. Bang, bang, bang. Inverted hammer candle. We talked about that with the supporting volume. You take it, we piece it out, we get south of the volume weighted average price, and then now we're all out of that short. So a dollar club exactly on that one there.
Oh,
yeah. There you go. Dang.
Fabian. Someone wants to know what's going on with your hair fundraiser. Dangerous. What's going on with Fabian's hair's fundraiser? Okay, he's coming in. He's coming in hot, so we're about to find out.
You got to answer the poll first.
Yeah, go ahead, Joey.
Enjoy
let
the
him
show.
know, bro. Let him know.
You vote on the poll?
I did, of course, bro. By default. All right, Fabian, give us a good. What's going on?
We just got to pick a week, and then we'll just start the fundraiser, and then we'll set some goals. Maybe you guys can do some stuff.
Absolutely.
You want me to fade it for you? You want me to get you want to fade?
Afterwards? Yeah, that'd be fun. I'm open to that.
You can fade, eh?
No, I was just...
Okay. It's really easy.
Maybe we'll get a barber to come in and do it for him as part of the whole fundraising.
I'm going to try to get one from the donation.
Yeah, that'd probably be more ideal.
That's really good.
I'm going to get them to come in and maybe
So we just need a date and we need a cause, right?
Yeah, we have it.
Do we have a cause?
Yeah, it's going to be like a charity for hair donation. So they make wigs for kids.
That's fantastic. I'm assuming, obviously, with
because it actually costs money to make them. The donation of hair isn't enough.
Amazing, man. Amazing. Okay, so let's get a date.
Back to you.
We'll organize.
No, I want to ask Fabian this. Are you ready to have your hair cut, though?
Oh, 100%. I've been ready for like over a year.
Yeah,
I just needed a reason, you know?
How long you been growing it?
Like 3 years.
Hey, because I know when you started here, it was not even close to being that long.
It was like
till like maybe a little bit lower than your neck.
And what, you're 26, right, Fabian?
He's 28, bro. He's turning 29
turning
end
29.
of November.
All right.
December.
My bad.
No, you're not December, are you? End of November, are you?
I'm like
December 1st?
December 6th.
December 6th?
December 6th.
Man, I thought I had it right, man. All right. I know you're a Sag, but I thought you were an early Sag.
I should have been a Capricorn.
Oh! All right. Shout out to Fabian, man. All right, we're going to let you guys, we're going to get that date, we're going to get everything set, and we're going to do it live, obviously. Let's talk about Canaccord Genuity boosting Tesla's price target to $490 on the delivery momentum as well as their energy storage outlook. So let's talk a little bit about that. They raised that price target from $333 up to $490, reiterating the buy rating based on Tesla's current stock price. That's more than a 10% upside from where we're currently trading. The analysts at Canaccord cited stronger delivery checks across 30 countries, showing a positive reversal after several quarters of slowing growth. We saw that in Europe, we saw it in North America, we saw it in China as well. So basically we saw it everywhere. According to Canaccord, they've done checks with now 30 companies and it looks like we bottomed. We'll wait and see. They're also liking the new product pipeline, Joey. They're saying Tesla's commitment to new vehicle models is expected to bolster global sales momentum. Analysts see the launches helping offset the loss of the U.S. EV tax credit, which is today, the last day you can get 75 hundos off an EV is to get that bill of sale signed today and drop at least a $1 down payment, a nominal down payment today. You can take delivery subsequent, but it's all going to be signed and sealed today. That is the last day. They also like their energy storage business. They say energy storage is seen as a critical sort of for that behind the meter solutions in both the residential and the commercial use cases. So we'll see how that works out. They also like the leadership that Musk has and his compensation package. They say the new compensation package is obviously tied to very aggressive long-term performance goals, which is aligning with the shareholder returns and values. The plan is also indirectly linked to investors to XAI's venture, adding, a bit more of a speculative upside. And let's not, gloss over the robo-taxi, Joey. Tesla just got approval from Arizona to begin road trials for the autonomous ride-hailing service. There will be a safety driver, as there has been in both Austin and some of the other, I think they're in Silicon Valley as well, even though they don't have fully the license yet from California, Joey. So yeah, another jurisdiction where robo-taxis is weaseling into.
Yeah. I mean, just increasing that geofence. I think that's really big. But as for
shout out to the Austin geofence. Anybody who knows.
Yeah. Shout out to that. Anybody who, which is insane. But that's what happens when you're essentially almost you're a multi-billionaire and you can just do what you want. You do things like that. But I mean, to each their own. Okay, but in all seriousness, we know that these autonomous vehicles in the likes of Zoox and Waymo, they're still about 5 years plus probably from being profitable. I think something that Tesla has in its favor is the production. Sharif and I were talking about this briefly yesterday. Autonomy is hard on Tesla software, great for the hardware. Production-wise, all right? The inverse for Waymo. Costs a lot to make the vehicles, but the software is slightly being favored. Now, forward-looking, I think that Tesla has a great opportunity to grab a large amount of market share, probably the largest, considering it cost Waymo $230K to make a vehicle, and Zoox just isn't producing them as much and doesn't have the production capacity that Tesla has. None of them do. That's where he can lead this race and take advantage of it. So I like the fact that Elon is starting to expand his geofence and getting in more and more cities, because we know that Zoox is heading into San Francisco. They're already in Las Vegas. They're going to New York and Miami. So some of these other names are starting to expand theirs, and this is what we need to see from Tesla. And I sold that stock a long time ago in April, a while ago. But one thing that I'm starting to learn is that the Magnificent Seven, these hyperscalers, these trillion-dollar companies, it's so hard for them to lose at this point. Stick to the guns. They may be volatile, but Tesla, autonomy, robo-taxi, robotics, a really good forward look.
Sounds good, Joey. Adira, this is multi-comment or a multi-view, I guess, by the analyst here. Take whichever angle you like. New products, energy storage, leadership, robo-taxis, the gauntlet.
I'll talk about the leadership, and what I really want to talk about, I think, is what the best, or not the best, but I think the clearest bull case for Tesla is right now. Think about when we started getting all of these positive analyst notes for Tesla. When did Tesla break out? So it's more or less around when we had the Elon Musk pay package, and then Elon Musk make that massive, $1 billion purchase, right? I remember that day we were like, what's happening with the stock that day? Why does it keep going up? Robin Denham, the chair of the company, was advocating for Elon Musk and his pay package. And then we get the announcement, he bought a whole bunch of shares. So for me, the reason I bring that up is because I think this pay package really forces Elon to work very hard for the company. Since then, we've seen him, daddy is very much home, as he said, and I think we've really seen that reflected beyond the share purchase, just in the decisions and the tweets that he's making. I mean, sure, he's making announcements like Grokpedia or whatever that came out today, but he's also generally a little bit more focused, I think, on Tesla and those core brands. The political focus or emphasis is dwindling a little bit, which I think was one of the bigger issues that Tesla shareholders had, or at least certain Tesla shareholders. We know the bulls were always on his side, but the reason I bring all of this up is because I think that with all of these other catalysts, right, with energy storage growth, with new products, all of that relies on a strong leader who's committed to the company. So any sign that Elon is committed to the company, I think, is a great step in the right direction. Now, short-term catalyst, of course, the biggest one is going to be the deliveries, which we are expecting. I was seeing Thursday we might get them. I think the deliveries are going to be key, of course, as well, but like the shorter term, but I think longer term, November 6th, the day after the election, or be like the 1 year of the election, 1 year anniversary, ironically enough. But I think the biggest thing here is, can Elon, on this 1 year anniversary of his political ascent, be like, hey guys, I'm here for you? Can he get the votes? I believe he probably can, and I think it'll be a good look for the company going forward. Sounds good. I like it, Adara. I'm going to be looking personally to see how much they beat by, if they beat at all, because we know that there's going to be a lot of pull forward because the EV tax credit ends today, $7,500, right? So a lot of the deliveries that they're going to ink in will have to have been signed today. So I'm assuming that, they're waiting for the numbers to release the numbers, because today is kind of the last day of the quarter as well.
Uptick
and today's the last day of the quarter. So it kind of makes sense. Now, what I want to see is if there's a sell the news event here, where the deliveries, even though they're supposed to be substantially higher because of the pull forward, they don't end up being as high as maybe some investors had hoped, and then we sell off a little bit once we get that. I'll be interested to see how that works out.
I think I think a lot of people sit in that same space as well too. Have they priced in a positive delivery coming in with maybe a slight coming in line or a slight beat of expectations? Is that priced in? Obviously, we know Elon was buying back stock, but if that is priced in and then they miss, watch out. You might see a big deep pullback that you're not expecting therein. Just to touch on, before we go into that next that next headline there, Sharif, touch on the SPY. It's still selling aggressively. We're all out of this one. And I was looking at Bitcoin starting to rally. So someone made an interesting point. Yeah, are we starting to price in a government shutdown? And then with that being said, in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, well, government shutdown, are you going to see a slight rotation into some of these crypto names? So as the SPY and Nasdaq are selling, you have IBIT holding up relatively well right at the volume weighted average price and moving higher at some times as well too. So that's just in the back of my mind. Are we starting to see a rotation out of the overall market and then maybe a little bit of inflows heading into the crypto space?
Yeah, it looks like there's like a little bit less than 10, a little bit more than 10 hours left until the shutdown begins. We're gonna have to see. I think this is the stupidest crap that we have to keep doing multiple times per year.
It's every year, man.
God. All right, let's go on to Alibaba, because Baba's been rocketing up lately anyway. So yeah, another 5% day for Baba yesterday, driven really by optimism around AI and cloud computing, especially their expansion. The stock is up, at least at the time of the writing of this article, 112%. It's 110.25 now, year to date, of course. Way ahead of the NYSE's composite of 13%. Currently trading at or near 52-week highs of 181.34. It's currently trading at 178.25, making September's best performing Chinese stock. There's also XPEV, which is also 98% on the year. There's others as well. Futu, we've talked about that. It's like a brokerage, a Robinhood-esque, 117% year over year. So there's some great looking Chinese names lately. And I've been watching Squawk Box at night, Asia Squawk Box, and apparently a ton of money is coming into the Chinese equity markets right now. They're saying it's possibly a fad, but apparently the Chinese markets are booming. Have a look at that for get it. All right, so obviously there's been some AI breakthroughs at Baba, especially with their Quen 3 Omni model. It's a multimodal system, meaning text, reading, pictures, everything, right? Now topping the Hugging Face's trending models list. Anybody who knows anything about Hugging Face, well, you can know. It's also outperforming, I would hope, the Quen 2.5 model, since this is the 3. It's also outperforming ChatGPT 4o, Google's Gemini 2.5 Flash, as well in an image, audio, and video comprehension test. And they're also expanding, Alibaba, that is, their global cloud strategy. They raised its cloud growth forecast at 32% for full year 2026, 40% for full year 2027, signaling that accelerated international expansion. We talked about them building new data centers in multiple new countries and expanding the data centers that they currently have in countries like Mexico. I didn't know Alibaba had a presence in Mexico, but there you go, and they're going to expand that data center.
Brazil too.
Brazil as well.
Yeah. Brazil, they're starting to get it. I mean, we talk about the overnight risk of trading some of these ADRs. But with this AI build out that we're starting to see from Alibaba, it's almost hard to sway away. And if you look at it from a technical standpoint and head all the way back in time, you're not even relatively close to, not even close to the previous peak. So, I mean, is it still at a discount? Let's figure that out right now. But yeah, they got a lot going on. They're spending the cash. This is what you want to see, especially from when the largest publicly traded companies in the country. So there's Alibaba Group. I mean, from July, it hasn't even looked back. You're up more than 70% to be exact, 73%. And again, just understand what the risk profile is here on Baba, is that you're subjected to what goes on overnight. But now you also have the ability to kind of mitigate that with the blue ocean and the overnight trading as well too. Obviously, you don't want to be up all night, but there's ways that can be mitigated from here on out. I love the AI build out. I love this race. I had friends that just came back from China and they live in Austin, Texas, and they're like, watch out. These guys are making big time moves. It's 10 times more advanced than you could ever imagine.
That's very interesting. I wouldn't be surprised about that at all, quite frankly.
Ever imagine.
All right, Adara, Baba up a big year-to-date, 110% in a quarter.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great look. I think that the CEO of this company, we know previously, I think maybe even a week or two ago or less, said they're going to be beefing up their AI spending. I think, let's put it this way. We know how well AI has been received here, right? NVIDIA just made new all-time highs. Now, Jensen Huang always says you cannot underestimate China. So with that in mind, it makes sense that if AI is really big here, it's going to be big in China. And as I said before, kind of echoing comments made by Jensen Huang, I think the greater, I guess, restrictions that we have with regards to U.S. being able to send things to China, the faster China has to accelerate. So I can expect to see continued AI acceleration. It makes sense that Alibaba is expanding their growth because they're also probably going to be getting more cloud customers locally as well. That would be my guess anyway. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy how many pies Alibaba is involved with. Like I mentioned earlier, I was reading that they were in talks with Costco at one point. Unclear if that actually went through with regards to e-commerce. And when I say at one point, that was in like 2014. So Alibaba has been established in a variety of businesses. I think they are able to manage them all pretty well. They almost give me kind of Amazon in China type vibes with regards to the e-commerce aspect and the cloud aspect as well. So yeah, I mean, honestly, it's not shocking that this is done super well. Their Quen has been really well received too. Every time you get a Quen announcement intraday, the stock goes on a little run. So I think if they keep doing what they're doing and keep accelerating what they're doing, maybe the 100 plus growth gets higher.
And Adira, let's not forget that Apple Intelligence still has no presence in China, and that's for a reason. The Chinese government has insisted that they have a domestic partner. Well, Adira, we know from your reporting that they've chosen Alibaba to do that partnership with. So I'm expecting more from Baba on the AI front, and obviously by extension of that, of course, Apple, with respect to that. So more announcements to build on your point, more announcements AI related with Baba in the future.
One really quick thing too that I just remembered. So I remember last year we had a really nice run in Chinese stocks in September.
Yeah,
and they kind of dwindled. Keep an eye on this guy short term. I just remembered that. And I share that. Short term, I would say keep an eye on these Chinese ADRs in case the buying dwindles a bit. Because we know, I remember like I went on vacation for a couple days. It was like a week ago. It was like 53 weeks ago. The point I'm trying to make is I remember as I was leaving, there was a giant fever pitch. Everyone's running in AI in China. Oh my gosh. And then it all dwindled really quickly after, so just keep an eye on that.
I remember David Tepper went on CNBC, says buy everything. I'll remember that very specifically. That was a year ago. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I complain to Brendo all the time that time flies by here, but no time has been as quick as David Tepper said buy China and now. I mean, it feels like it was a few weeks ago to me anyway. I don't know about it. Joe, comment.
Yeah. Oh, we already.
I thought you had something to say about the Baba. Or
I did. But no, I was going to say no. But as for that comment, we know our guy as to buy China. You know, our guy JB was buying K-Web a while ago as well too.
The same time he was. David Tepper was pounding the table. So
he's
JB.
buying. He's buying K-Web off of the lows. So not too bad of a look there. Yeah, Shreve, you can.
Did you see your friend there?
I've seen it.
Oh no, Big Spile's back.
My birthday, brother. Show some love, man.
All right, Big Spile. Just before we read, you gotta.
Read it, man.
It's his birthday on Sunday, Katina, man.
Yeah.
So Big Spile, your boy Joey Options got a birthday on Sunday. In case you want to drop another comment. There. Little Joey Smalls. Up reading that. Might not want to be up all night, but every time the big one is, you better believe he's hitting those bangs.
I don't even know what that means. I don't even get
Think about it.
Yeah, what?
Come on, you're hitting the bang.
How do you not get that?
I don't get it, man.
I got nothing to do with this. I love China, but country is nothing but 1,000% hype, says Chicago 1807. I respect your opinion, brother, but I also respectfully disagree. I wouldn't count them out. Let's go on to the next topic, though, Joey Options. Let's go on, talk about NVIDIA getting a price target increase here from your great friends at Citi.
Yeah.
They bumped it up from 200 to 210. They kept that same buy rating, obviously, on NVIDIA. And here's what the analysts are saying. The analysts walked away more positive following the release or the explanation of the Reuben CPX GPU launch, which is kind of designed for generative video creation at scale. It's slated for release, Randy, late 2026, so we're not even talking about any time soon. Citi did revise their estimates, Randy, higher. They're talking about Q4 sales now, model at around 54 billion, Katina, man. And Randy, you're tripping me out. And Q1 sales, geez Louise, of 62 billion in revenue, Joey.
Pocket change.
Pocket change here, dude. This is why they're $4.5 trillion now, with 2026 and 2027 earnings forecasts raised by 1 to 10%. Oh, this is his investment right here on Nvidia. The Reuben CPX positions Nvidia as a core player in the next-gen AI hardware, but we also know about that $100 billion that they threw OpenAI's way, and we know what that's about. It's called an infinite money glitch. I give you $100 billion, Randy. You take that $100 billion, you buy back my GPUs, and all of a sudden, I got my $100 billion back, but I also booked $100 billion worth of sales. I love it. Who could say that that's a bad thing, right? Infinite money glitch. Yeah, I like it. Something smells. It smells like GPUs. It smells like money, you know, but that's what it is, Randy. NVIDIA confirmed it will invest $100 billion into OpenAI. They're targeting massive new data centers. The move is seen as a major industry catalyst as NVIDIA strengthens the ecosystem for AI. Analysts emphasize this partnership does not alter NVIDIA's ARM commitments, but adds that x86 flexibility. And just to give you an idea, Joey, we are expecting the GOAT himself, yes, CEO Jensen Huang, he will deliver a keynote at the GC Washington conference in late October, right around Halloween time.
Yeah. We're seeing NVDA kind of start to fuel their own demand in some way with the likes of CoreWeave, and then obviously this deal that we're talking about right here, OpenAI. Yeah, it's very interesting stuff, but I'm not, that's not going to faze me, I don't think, in the long run. I think the chips are going to get better. He's going to come out with the best chips continuously. People are want to get their hands on those ones, whether it be the likes of Meta, who's going to spend a boatload of money on it. You have the, Meta is what I was referring to, Amazon, and everyone buying these chips, the hyperscalers. I think that NVDA is going to be just fine in the long run, even though in a sense, I get what Shrieve's getting at. They are creating their own demand. Is that a recipe for disaster? I don't know, but with their customer base being so broad, China, you have the Gulf countries as well, too. It's looking really, really good for this name. I wouldn't be surprised if it continues. It put in a new all-time high. And I think for the foreseeable future, until that CapEx, as I mentioned before, starts to cool off, we really, really, really love NVDA. All
right, Adara, this is an interesting take here from your friends at Citi. They like the CPX GPU launch for this Reuben, and they're projecting big boy increases in their Q4 and Q1 revenue, Adara.
I mean, like, I'm not an analyst by any means, but I think maybe one of the biggest catalysts of note right now for NVIDIA is just like their recent kind of M&A bend, right? They've been investing in a lot of companies. They invested in OpenAI. They're investing in Intel. And so I think with that in mind, like you're seeing that this company is expecting more growth. And I think that's a good look as well, just for how, like, you always like to see how a company views themselves, right? You can get the sense, like, when people are buying shares, stuff like that, or when you've got companies announcing share buybacks or repurchase programs. With NVIDIA trying to invest this much in other companies, you get the sense that they're like, hey, we have the money and we're going to make more money. So I like that in general. I think that's a good sign of NVIDIA's outlook for themselves, and so it gives me a good outlook for them. Now, I think just with regards to the CPX GPU launch, let's see how it goes, right? I want to see, once we get kind of more circulation out there, we know there were a lot of concerns with regards to supply issues for the Blackwell. Let's see if the Reuben CPX GPU is able to kind of keep up the supply with regards to demand. Now, also, we know they indicated, I believe it was earlier this week, yesterday, robotics-related updates. I want to see more robotics. Jensen was chilling with his little robot earlier this year. I want to see Jensen hanging out with more robots, and I want to see more, I think, things being furthered there. And I think GTC conference, Washington, could be a place for that.
No, what I was saying, Jetson, Adara. That's the name
Jetson.
Of their. Yeah. Remember the.
It's way too close to his name.
That's what I know.
So it's hard to hear. Yeah.
Exactly. That's their robotics GPU for everybody. I know you know, but like.
Yeah, I like, because it's a shout out to George Jetson and the Jetson family and stuff. But yeah, no, I think either way, like doing more with robotics is probably going to be a good place for them, so they can kind of show they're continuing to push forward. That being said, if you're still doing well with your GPUs or CPUs, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, good point. All right, let's go on to the next topic. Shopify and ChatGPT, well, they're integrating for instant checkout integration, baby. So what are we talking about here, Joey? It's not just Shopify. There's others. It's Etsy as well. But so OpenAI announced U.S. Etsy sellers can now sell directly through ChatGPT, expanding into agentic commerce. That's what they're calling it, agentic commerce. Shopify merchants, for their part, including Glossier, Skims, Spanx, And Viore will join the program soon as well. As we know, Shopify stock jumped up about 5% in the pre-market. Etsy's was about 12. I don't know where they're both trading right now, but here's how it's going to work. So users can ask product questions, for example, best gifts for a runner, and then buy instantly within ChatGPT. It's going to be powered by an open source checkout product. The products are going to be enabled with instant checkout, and they can be purchased directly inside the chat. Merchants, for their part, they're going to pay OpenAI a small fee for having their products included in ChatGPT, but it's going to be free for buyers, so users. There's not going to be no product placement bias. No product placement bias, aka AdWords. Yeah. What's up, Google? So how are they going to monetize this thing? I kind of gave you an idea there. The merchants are going to pay a fee. The instant checkout represents a push towards monetizing free users, as OpenAI obviously skills investments and covers their growing losses. They're having to spend up a storm buying these data centers and GPUs, and there's still not enough. Joey, they've got about 700 million weekly active users. However, most of them, if not like a great majority of them, are still on a free plan.
Yeah.
So they need to make money somehow, and the monetization efforts are kind of tied to this Fiji Simo guy appointment. He's an ex-Instacart CEO, an ex-former Meta executive, and they're using this guy's expertise to kind of push e-commerce and advertising within chat.
When you told me this story first thing in the morning, what was it? What was the first thing?
You loved it. You immediately loved it.
I was like, monetize.
Yeah,
This is how they do it. And I think it's going to continue to grow, right? Like you can just directly check out, sell things off of the app, and then watch out for more ads to come on, right? We talk about some of these private names coming in at valuations that are insane. I think the top 5 are coming in at about $1.3 trillion, which is absolutely insane. I was listening to what Vlad Tenev said about OpenAI and how it's a non-profit, so that it was a little bit more difficult to tokenize. But aside from that, watch out, right? When YouTube first came out, there wasn't an ad in sight. Now you can't watch 4 minutes of a video without being an ad in between.
Remember that?
Right? But now that's all it is. And I think that's what you're going to lead into this free platform with ChatGPT. Eventually, they're going to be signing deals. 700 million weekly active users is insane. So watch out for that digital ad revenue to come in aggressively. 100%. And once it ramps up, it's like whatever prompt you're typing in, it's like watching a video. Prompt, cool, ad.
Yeah.
Right? Prompt, ad. And I think that's the direction that it's going to be headed towards.
I got to agree with everything you just said. Adara, I like the fact that there's going to be no product bias in this, where I'm not trying to say Google is product biased, but we all know how search engine optimization works. We all know how Google AdWords and AdSense works. You can get to the top if you pay more, Adara.
Yeah, I like that they're trying to avoid that pay to play or pay whatever situation there. What's interesting too is I think between the two of them, Shopify had a very delayed reaction. Like this news came out around here. Shopify kind of chilled. I even remember when I said like the news, which came out yesterday during the midday around 1 p.m., Etsy made the massive move, and I was like, Shopify is involved too, but you can't really tell. And then Shopify had the later reaction. Etsy, meanwhile, had, I think, the much more immediate reaction to the upside. They closed near highs, but today they've given it all back, right? So it's always interesting to see how two stocks with the exact same catalyst perform in markedly different ways. And you know what I would posit as the reason for this different reaction is Etsy gets the immediate pump because this is the less closely watched stock, right? This is, I guess, the more novelty type stock. But then you've got Shopify. I think it's something that's a little bit more hot. It's a bit more 100%. On watch. Perhaps they've recently, they're in the Nasdaq now. They switched their listing to the Nasdaq. So Shopify is something I think we're going to watch a little bit more closely. And so with that in mind, sure, maybe it'll have a delayed initial reaction, but I think the long-term benefit for Shopify could be a little bit greater. Etsy is, I don't want to say it's a dying breed, but I think it's like maybe the stock. I don't know for sure the company, but I think at least the stock, they're going to be watching a little bit more or a little bit less closely. Either way, this is another win for OpenAI. OpenAI certainly stays winning. I will say that on their Nvidia announcement. I just want to know who else they're going to team up with next. Because at this point, I think the OpenAI ecosystem of companies is getting wider and wider. And I wonder if there is a point where, I don't want to say monopoly, but I wonder if at a certain point at our good FTC friends get a little miffed that they're trying to make deals with everybody and they're trying to make the head honcho with that in mind. Now, I'm thinking way in the future. I highly doubt that's going to be immediate if it happens at all, but something to think about.
I don't think you're off on that at all. In fact, Jensen was on an interview with Brad Gerstner, I think a couple of days ago, and he said OpenAI is going to be the next hyperscaler. So getting into that sort of, I don't know, obviously...
It comes with the territory.
Exactly. They're going to be under the microscope. He's counting them as the winning horse. We'll have to see if they end up being the winning horse, but that's what Jensen is saying. Thank you, Adira. Yeah, go ahead, Joey.
Yeah, let me add this. I'm just curious on your guys' thought. As for a monopoly, what Darrow was saying, but don't you think that their playing field is a little bit more level than the likes of when Google first started coming out and some of these other names that hold what we would like to call monopoly?
Joey, I can name you a bunch of search engines that existed when I was using the internet. Excite, Lycos, Ask Jeeves, Yahoo, obviously, which is still around. There's more. Alta Vista, thank you, Assassino, web crawler. There's a ton that no longer existed. Google was not the first, and then they killed everybody.
They killed everybody. But I mean, were some of those search engines, did they ever have any valuations like some of the companies?
No, not even close. Maybe Yahoo.
Right?
Yahoo was the big one, and then that just kept making lower highs.
I'm just thinking out loud, right? Because
no, you're right, dude.
I think at some point, I'm not going to say the playing field's level, considering how much money that OpenAI has raised. I just think it's a little bit more broad than some of the previous competition that some of these other bigger names seem.
I just want to mention, guys, that the short interest on Etsy is quite large. I just did a quick Perplexity search here. So apparently a little bit less than 20 million shares are borrowed. 19 2/3 million shares are borrowed for short, which represents about 28.3% of the float is actually borrowed for short. Obviously, these numbers are as old as September 15th, okay? So just keep that in mind. So when Adira was showing you that breakdown there, before we go to Adira, I just want to show OKLO is breaking up. Oh, go ahead, Adira.
So I was just going to bring up the news on this. OKLO, stronger here. Department of Energy picking the company and Triso X for nuclear fuel line projects. So OKLO, one of two companies, it looks like, suggested or selected by the Department of Energy for nuclear fuel line projects. Back to you.
Thank you, Adira. Let's go on to the next topic. Google to merge Android and Chrome OS for laptops in 2026. So what are we talking about here? We're not talking about Chromebooks. Similar, though. So Google confirmed plans to merge Android and Chrome OS starting in 2026. The goal for Google or Alphabet is to broaden the ecosystem and bring the AI capabilities across all devices and form factors. This is going to be the first Android-based notebook expected, of course, as we mentioned, next year, maintaining the Chrome OS interface, but with Android at its core. Interesting take. I'd like to see how that works relative to the ones that they have out now. So there's supposedly, according to the company, going to be seamless device integration. So Android boss Samir Samat emphasized a seamless integration between laptops and the Android ecosystem. AI advancements made on Android will extend quickly to laptops, according to Mr. Samat. Chrome OS has been successful in education and productivity. We see that with a lot of schools adopting these Chromebooks. One little caveat about these Chromebooks are not upgradable, so once they're old, you got to throw them out. It's kind of crazy. The hardware and partnerships aspect of this. So the announcement was made at Qualcomm's Snapdragon Summit, suggesting, of course, that Snapdragon chips will power the Verse devices. Potential use cases could here either be the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, which is for the smartphone, or the Snapdragon X2 Elite, which is a new notebooks chip. Google is likely to partner with Acer, Samsung, HP, Lenovo to offer devices at multiple price points using Android. And the unveiling, Joey, could take place at Google's I/O 2026. We're not exactly sure. And the tablet and the form factors also play a part here. Google paused development of new Android tablets, possibly to focus on this sort of Android Chrome OS hybrid, Joey.
Yeah, I think it's a really good look. I remember listening to part of the keynote, and they were talking about this a little bit as well, too. And I was listening to another podcast where they're getting a little bit more in depth of this. And I mentioned to you before that some of the other cell phone providers were not happy about what was going on in regards to this. Boom was, never mind this. Yeah. We got a big time pop in Webull. It just broke through. Been sitting in this for quite some time, so a nice little move there. But yeah, aside from that, I love this merge. I think it's going to be great for both Google and Android, and it's going to be really interesting as well too, because we know that Google's at the top of the list for Apple operating system iOS as well too. So yeah, I like the move that Google and Android are making here.
Adira, you're gonna sell that nice, shiny, beautiful looking M3 MacBook that you got?
No, it's awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like the battery life is maybe not the best, but that could also just be because I used to use like my old MacBook constantly while charged, and I've moved around things in my house, so I'm charging my MacBook less consistently. I digress. Other than that, it's great, it's perfect, and I am not getting rid of it. But with regards to this Google tablet, I mean, we'll have to wait and find out. Truthfully, I don't know enough about the differences between Chrome OS and Android to see how this change is actually going to hit. And I think this is, honestly, if you're in the chat and if you're a user of either, comment on how you think this is going to go in terms of the merger, right? Because we're going to have to wait and see what happens. They're from both companies, right? Google's involved in Chrome and Android, obviously. So I think it should be a seamless merger. Let's see if it's actually of note. But you're right, the fact that this was announced at the Qualcomm Snapdragon situation already implies Qualcomm's going to be involved. If anything, I think this is probably a nice catalyst for them rather than Google, because GOGL has way too many things going on to really care, I think, about a tablet in the longer term. It's an interesting catalyst for trading, for the morning watch list type thing, but I think longer term, this might be a better story for our friends at QCO.
Yeah, I don't see this being a huge needle mover for revenue. It's a good supplement, but definitely not a needle mover. Good take, Adara. Let's go on to Spotify. New CEO transition happening here with the founder, Daniel Ek, set to step aside. Now, I know Daniel for different reasons. At one point in time, I was very displeased with the way that Arsenal was being run by the Kroenke family. Of course, Stan Kroenke owns the LA Rams. He owns, I think, the Denver Nuggets, as well as a few other teams. One of the other teams, of course, he owns is the Arsenal. And he owns the Emirates Stadium, as well as SoFi Stadium. And he was not spending any money on Arsenal. We were not competing with the likes of City, Chelsea, even United was spending more money than us. So then Daniel Ek started floating the idea that he wanted to buy Arsenal, which was obviously rebuffed with prejudice by the Kroenke family. And then after that, they started spending. So I dropped my reservations about the family. But that's who Daniel Ek is to me. To you guys, you're going to know him as a Spotify CEO and founder. He's now going to be replaced by the co-presidents, the current co-presidents of the company, Alex Nordstrom and Gustav Soderstrom, who will become co-CEOs effective the 1st of January of next year. As we said, Daniel Ek, who's only 42 years old, but has been at the helm of the company for 20 freaking years. I feel like a bum compared to this guy, and he's a year younger than me. Ek will still influence strategy, even though he's not going to hold the CEO title. He's going to influence capital allocation and the long-term planning while focusing less on that day-to-day management aspect of the company. Just to give you an idea of who these new guys are that are going to be co-CEOs, Alex Nordstrom, he oversaw subscriptions, advertising, and content strategy for Spotify. Gustav Soderstrom, he managed product design and engineering, and he's driving Spotify's innovation track. So both are bringing complementary expertise to the CEO role. But that's not the first time we've seen these dual CEO setups, Joey. We see it working with Netflix. We saw it at Oracle before Safra Cat. We're seeing it at Oracle as Safra Catz transitions out. And we also saw it in BlackBerry, man. Shout out to Jim Balzelis and the other guy. I don't know the other guy's name, but I know Balzelis.
No, I mean, dude, let's see.
Lazaridis, thank you, Adara.
There you go. Yeah, very interesting with this dual CEO. I know that was the first thing Adara said to me this morning. She said, "Good morning, Joe." Spotify, bang, 2 new CEOs, some new CEOs, a little shuffling around there, so not too bad of a look. But from a technical standpoint, I mean, how many monthly active users does Spotify have? Because I'm pretty sure it's blowing Apple Music.
Joey.
Yeah, it's blowing.
Keep going, I'll find out.
It's blowing Apple Music completely out of the water. So it's a really good look. This from an investment standpoint, I mean, in April, you didn't even get that aggressive sell-off. Spotify has just been a fantastic trade. Let's get into it right now. July, August. There
696 million monthly active users as of the second quarter of 25, Joey.
And I'm pretty sure that Apple has, what, around 20
I'll find
million?
out.
Yeah, let's find out Apple as well, too. But Spotify has been absolutely fantastic. I think it's going to continue to grow. They had they're paying Joe Rogan insane amounts of money. And some of these podcasters insane amounts of money when they were on YouTube
124
as well,
million.
So there you go. It's like 7 times bigger than what Apple Music has got going on. And that's exactly why I like Spotify personally. If you have a company where there's how many iPhones on the planet, 3 billion, a billion, whatever it is, something along those lines, and you have the ability to grab share off of these phone holders and get them to download your app and pay a separate subscription, I think it's a really, really good business model.
Absolutely. I can't agree more. And I've been a loyal Spotify subscriber since 2016, despite many attempts by Apple to lure me over with 3-month trials. I got one right now, Joey, on my iPad. I activated it, and I've downloaded nothing on it, even though they've made it easy now to export your playlist from Spotify into Apple Music. I still haven't done it. Bro, it's a habit, man. I like going in. I know how to use it. I don't want to learn anything new. I'm old AF, and I don't want to.
No, that's fair. Rightfully so.
He also likes a Spotify rap.
Well, we already know.
Like the year wrap. I got you. You know, at the end of the year.
You get that on Apple Music as well.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you get that. But it'll play it'll give you a list of your top tracks that you played.
Fair enough.
We already know where Adara lays on that one.
Oh yeah.
And I know where Katina Man's laying as well too. I'm pretty sure he's a big Apple Music guy as well.
Is he?
So yeah, I think so.
I think Ram is as well.
Yeah. So there is, but I mean, 700 million, that's some big time numbers, grabbing share off of Apple. That's how you build a solid business if you have the ability to do so.
All right, Adara, what do you make of this new dual CEO setup?
Well, I think it's actually beyond the dual CEO thing, Sharif. I like that you mentioned Oracle, because Oracle is just doing the same thing here with Safra Catz leaving, 2 C-suite executives stepping up, identical to what Spotify is doing. But Sharif and Joe and people, this is not the only similar transition where you've got a CEO stepping into some kind of chairman or executive chairman role and letting someone else from the company take the helm, because T-Mobile, same day as Oracle, a couple minutes before Oracle announced this same setup. Also, these are the Spotify men from left to right: Daniel Ek, Alex Nordstrom, and Gustav Soderstrom. Those are the 3 dudes. Just blonde dudes from Sweden. But anyways, with regards to Spotify, nothing is good. Like, these 3 guys are not going to make me switch to Spotify. I'm sorry. I'm still iTunes all the way, and I will accept the necessary.
Did you know? Hold on. Did you see your friend Daniel Ek there? He's a shiny one too, like your other friend Brian Armstrong there.
He's got the shiny head. But yeah, I mean, with regards to just to talk a little bit more about this CEO strategy, I wonder what company's next. T-Mobile. You know, they've got the CEO still in the new cushy position of executive chairman, helping with strategy. In this case, they specifically said Daniel Ek is still going to be their boss. They're going to report directly to him, right? So it's a bizarre strategy, and I kind of wonder, given that we've had 3 of these announcements in literally 1 week, I wonder if there are going to be some other legacy CEO announcements where someone who's been at the company for a long time, widely respected, decides to give somebody else the reign, even if it's a pair of people. But on the flip side, with regards to Oracle and Spotify specifically, if you've got this co-CEO thing, does it mean that you trust one of them less? And I'm just speculating. I have no idea, but it is an interesting setup, is it not?
The way that I read this article, and that's the extent of my information from the article I read, the 2 CEOs bring different things to the table.
That's also fair, yeah.
In a complementary sense, because they have different backgrounds. We'll have to see, obviously, Adara, how it ends.
Same with Oracle, too, yeah. But I just, I always like to play devil's advocate.
That's fair. All right, guys. It is now 2 o'clock. Thank you, Adara, for chiming in. Joey, thanks, obviously, for being on. Send him off.
Well, no, I was curious to see with Adara who she would like to see step in as CEO if she was ever going to transition from Apple Music to Spotify. What?
Trick question. I'm also not on Apple Music. I'm on iTunes.
She buys music.
That is crazy.
She doesn't
buy that. I thought you could buy it on Apple.
Last night. This is just how I live my life. But anyways, I pick a song, I pay money for it, it's on my phone, and I own it. But yeah, no, honestly, Joe, no CEO is going to make me step down from Spotify or step towards Spotify. What I would love, though, is if and this is a complete, nonsense, but if we have iTunes split up, become its own company, and then it has its own CEO, and I want it to be a rapper if that is the case. Dr. Dre, where are you at?
All right, guys. Shout out to Daraman. I like that take. I like your take, Joey. Leave him with a thought.
Yeah, I mean, I hope everyone has a fantastic Tuesday. The Jays are playing this weekend. That's going to be fun. We got some big-time UFC fights, but
Joey,
it's not quite. Yeah.
Who are the Jays going to play? Is it going to be New York or Boston?
Who do the Jays want to play?
No. Who are they going to play?
I know, but who do they want to play? Boston?
Okay.
I think they're going to play New York.
They're going to play New York?
Yeah.
Katina Man. Who are the Jays going to play? New York or Boston, Katina Man? The Katina Man said it doesn't matter. I mean, I don't think he doesn't got the read right now, and we'll have to wait to see. No read, he says. We'll have to wait for the first game. Maybe he'll have a better read.
He's fibbing to you because he's already probably got some money laced on that one.
Is that true?
Yeah.
He doesn't bet baseball, says the Katina Man. You're going to hear it from him in a second. Peace.
Oh boy. Why does